Welcome to the house that Bud built. Where Barry made his mark. Where Bob continues to roll.
Welcome to the home where Superman lives. $142 All-Americans.
Game winning streak.
40 conference titles.
Count them. 7 national championships.
There's only one.
Only one.
One Oklahoma.
This is Oklahoma football.
Disappointing, these two teams are coming off losses, but guess what? The fans in the stands could care less at the Texas County Fair as it's the Red River rivalry. Oklahoma and Texas, always a special part to be there. Colt McCoy, though, bit of a disappointed this year. Only 8 touchdown passes.
You know, he got banged up last week. He struggled a little bit. He got banged up again the year before against K-State. They've done a number on him defensively.
He's banged up. There's no doubt about that. And it started last year against Kansas State, and it's continued into this season here. The before and the after story is pretty impressive here. If you're playing defense against McCoy and the Longhorns, now you have a chance. And the 12 interceptions down there afterwards, that's just telling. And it's going to be a rough day for him.
I know this much, that Oklahoma, coming off a loss, will not be a team that is in a letdown position. They will become gun shooting. Who do you like in this game?
I had a couple of my UT buddies call me from the golf course yesterday. They were looking for some way that they might win this game. I said, boys, stay at the 19th hole because it ain't going to happen. Hey, McCoy's down. He's banged up. This is really a deal where they have to simplify, as Greg Davis, the offensive coordinator, said at Texas. Simplify. Let's get back to the basics and allow McCoy to have some success. At the end of the day, though, great young man, a lot of courage. I got to go Oklahoma in this ball game.
You know, a week ago when Oklahoma was in the top 5, we thought, or I thought anyway, they were the most explosive, the most consistent. Now, offensively, you've got weapons on the ground, through the air. You got Malcolm Kelly through the air. Bradford throwing the ball through 2 picks last week. I'm going with a comeback from Bradford. They're going to play well and win the ball game.
And Malcolm Kelly, it's the name that you mentioned. No, he didn't have anything really that much last week against Colorado. This is a guy that has to get in the game. If Oklahoma plays their game, then this is a tough deal because Texas right now is still searching. And McCoy, you have to assume that the guy's still nicked up a little bit. I mean, he's not all there and ready for this game.
He's got to find his confidence and get out of this gun-shy thing that he's going through and let the ball, turn it loose and be aggressive like he was the middle of last season.
Don't get hit back there.
Teams with something to prove. So stick around. It is Gut Check Saturday.
Following is a special presentation of ESPN College Football on ABC.
The State Fair of Texas, always a blast. But today there's no safety net for the Longhorns and the Sooners. They don't want to drop to 0-2 in conference play. It's been a season of ups and downs with some corny outcomes. And today, the Red River rivalry gets in the swing of things in Dallas. ESPN's presentation of college football on ABC is presented by Best Buy. And our matchup, the Red River rivalry for the 102nd time as we bring you to the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. And it's the number 10 Sooners of Oklahoma against the 19th ranked Longhorns of Texas. Welcome, everybody. I'm Brad Nussler aboard the Boomer Schooner. Boomer and Sooner are ready. Almost everybody's ready. And a lot of people think because these two teams both lost last week that this game doesn't mean as much. To the contrary, because no team has ever started 0-2 in Big 12 South play and gone on to win the conference. So the loser of this one's going to be in the basement. The winner is still very much in the national championship picture. Now, I got a bunch of Sooner fans behind me. They're kind of loving that I'm sitting on the wagon. I got to even things off a little bit as we get set for this ball game. Let's get in the tunnel now with Paul McGuire.
Brett, thank you very much. It's electric down here. You're going to see people running in front of you. Those are the Oklahoma players. Got Texas behind us. But what else is electric is Oklahoma's offense. They average 54 points a game. They've got a young freshman quarterback, Sam Bradford. This guy is 72% thrower. Not only that, 15 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. This guy's having a phenomenal year. And Brad, let me tell you this.
Here come the Oklahoma Sooners, the number 10 team in the country. They had won 5 straight in this series, but they have dropped the last 2. Let's get the perspective for the Longhorns of Texas, and up to a nice cool booth, my partner Bob Greasy.
It's not cool up here, not enough. But if Texas is to have a chance to win today, they're going to have to get a good performance out of their young quarterback, Colt McCoy. Had a great year last year. So far this year, he's just been up and down. Had a concussion, a mild concussion last week. He's recovered from that. But he's going to need help, and his help comes in the way of a running game. Mack Brown told me on the field before the ball game, Jamal Charles has to play well to take the pressure off of Colt McCoy. Now it's Jamal Charles is the main guy running the ball that can help out the Texas Longhorns.
Here comes number 19, Texas. They've won the last 2. They're coming off their worst home defeat of the Mack Brown era. They know how badly they need this one today. We're getting set for the 102nd renewal of the Red River rivalry when we come back. It started over a century ago. Now time for the 102nd renewal. Proud programs rich with tradition. Some of the greatest moments, players, and coaches have graced this Cotton Bowl battle. A clash for glory. Their faithful bleed burnt orange or crimson and cream. It's Texas OU. It's OU Texas. The Big 12 South takes the spotlight in Dallas. Coming up next. So we're just about set for the 102nd renewal of the Red River rivalry. Before we do, let's get out of the 4th member of our team. Here's Bonnie Bernstein. Bonnie?
Brad, I bet I am the only one in the stands wearing a lilac today. I'm standing essentially on what is the continental divide of the Cotton Bowl. Precisely one half of this stadium to my right is clad in burnt orange, the Texas fans. To my left, Oklahoma Sooner fans sporting their crimson. Now, a lot of players in this game have actually watched the game from the stands. They know you do not sit during this game. You cheer till the end, but they also know what it's like when their team loses, and no one on the field wants to look up in the stands when the clock runs out, only to see their team colors streaming towards the exit with the victor heckling all the way out.
All right, Bonnie. Bonnie may look cool and collected. Oklahoma won the toss, and they'll take it. Trust me, it's a... It all started in 1900, and here we go in the 2007 version. Hunter Lawrence, Iglesias and Murray are back deep for the Sooners. From the 4, DeMarco Murray. And a little crease, it closed in a hurry, but he did get it out to the 28-yard line. So Oklahoma goes to work with the guy that Paul was talking about at the controls. Sam Bradford, the redshirt freshman from right in Oklahoma City. Sensational numbers already this year, but coming off his worst performance of the season. You see his passing efficiency still leads the NCAA. First snap for the Sooners from their own 28-yard line. And it's going to be a pass. Got a screen set up, and they got it to Manuel Johnson, and he's out very close to a first down. Let's check the Oklahoma Sooners Best Buy offense, and Boomer's going to do the honors.
I know something about pulling a load when I have the Schooner behind me. Doing that today on the offensive line is big fill load hole. Out wide is going to be Malcolm Kelly. In the backfield, power, Alan Patrick. Leading them all, Oklahoma's own Sam Bradford.
Good job, Boomer. He looked like he was out later than Sooner last night when I was down there in that wagon.
Yeah.
Second down and 1. Allen got the first down. The Best Buy Texas defense. Who else? Bevo's got to do the honors.
Now take a look at the Horns that are going to hook them on defense. Our linebackers like to hit, and you'll see that sooner rather than later. And watch for that big old steer Scott Derry. He ain't no dairy cows. There's Frank O'Cam. He's a bull in a china shop.
That's great.
Bevo. Thank you, sir. First down, Oklahoma at its own 39. And this one's going nowhere. Lamar Houston and Frank O'Cam, who Bevo just talked about, combine on the tackle. Oklahoma came in averaging 225 yards on the ground, which is 14th best in the country.
Both teams want to stop the run, and both offenses want to establish their running game to help their young quarterbacks.
DeMarco Murray will stay in the backfield with Bradford in the shotgun. All 3 wideouts, as you see to the top of your screen. That's where Sam is going. Tipped and almost intercepted. Incomplete. Tipped by Derek Lokey. Well, Paul was in the tunnel and almost got run over at the beginning. And where would you be now, Mr. McGuire?
I'm up in the air in a cart cab. I'm right behind Texas's bench. I'm going to tell you something. This is a beautiful sight down here. I've never seen this many people sweat this much in their entire lives. It is hot, Jack.
It was hot this morning. There was drizzle much of the morning. And then about an hour ago, it started to clear off, and you could just feel the heat and humidity keep rising as it continues to here in Dallas. Third down, 11. Bradford might be changing things up here as he goes up to his lineman. And as the coaches will tell you, there's noise on every play. You don't get a play off. Bradford all day to throw. Goes to his probably 3rd receiver, John Finley, but he's hit immediately by Deion Beasley, and Oklahoma's got to punt it up.
He wanted to throw it to Malcolm Kelly, but double coverage on this side. He went all the way back to the other side of the field. Malcolm Kelly all last week, ball game against Colorado, did not catch a ball.
Most block kicks since 2000. Texas has that honor. They got everybody lined up. Quan Cosby is back deep. Michael Cohen, one of the 2 punters we'll see today for Oklahoma. He hangs it up for Cosby, who's going to run up on it and then get out of the way. And the Sooners will let it roll as far as possible, which is about the 20-yard line. 37-yard punt and no return. So that brings out Colt McCoy and the Texas offense for the first time. Sophomore put on some weight and some muscle since last year. Still has that Opie Taylor look, but he is quite a leader. 14-4 as a starter, the freshman of the year last season in the Big 12.
He's got more interceptions, Brad, this year than he had all of last year. He had 4 last week, but 3 of them were on tip balls. And you really can't put that on the quarterback.
His team will start at the 20-yard line. Antoine Cobb and Jamal Charles and I backfield, which is a little different for Texas. And we got penalty markers down. And one thing you don't want to do is have a delay a game on the first snap of the game. Tom Walker, our referee.
On the offense, number 16, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Jermichael Finley, the tight end, with the penalty. So that's 1st and 15.
Yeah, you're right, Brad. That's not the way you want to come out first play. And it looked like they had something going because they had McCoy outside the pocket where he could have an option to run or throw the football.
Bob and Finley, the thing about it is he couldn't hear anything, so he stood up. The noise is so great down at his end. That's where all the red people are, the Oklahoma. He couldn't hear, so he just stood up to listen to the plug.
Here's Charles. Maybe got 3. T.J. Wolf came up to make the stop as we check the Best Buy starting offense. And let's check in for Texas again with Bevo.
Howdy. Here's our Texas grade A beefy offensive line, led by the king of the hill, Big Tony Hills. Now follow the ball. It'll go to Charles and Swede. And at quarterback, oh, he's home on the field, Colt McCoy.
All right, Bevo, good job.
I love it. I love it.
You knew Bevo could do a lot of things, but the lineups is something we didn't realize until this week he was capable of. Second down and 11. Charles got about 4 back from that penalty. And Colt McCoy is confused as well. Calls a timeout. will take one as well here early in the first quarter. On a steamy afternoon in Dallas, Texas. No score here in the first quarter. This is Texas opening possession, having just called a timeout. They face second down and 11. Here comes a blitz. McCoy stands in, delivers the slant. The ball is out. Did they call it complete? Oklahoma picks up the ball, and they're going the other way. And this is Nick Harris, brought down at the 5.
I don't think he ever had it.
They're calling it an incomplete pass, Brad.
They took a long time to call it, I'll tell you that much. Had it temporarily. The ball came out as he was hitting the turf. You could see it behind him. And then the Sooners wisely pick it up just in case.
Well, it was a good throw by McCoy.
Oh, he's got that ball.
I don't know. He looked like he did.
Catch.
No, it's can't see from that one.
Not quite. Now he looks like he takes a step and a half to me.
I don't think he had complete possession of it. It was slipping out of it, and he was trying to move it to his hands.
So it's third down and long. McCoy wants to throw a screen high, but delivered. And out to about the 26-yard line. A pickup of 7, but that's not going to be enough. Punt coming up from Texas now. So Texas looked confused really that whole series.
Well, they had to take a couple of timeouts, and that's never good. Although they are at the end, like Paul said. They're down here at the red end where all the Oklahoma fans are.
X Factor brought to you by City. Talked about special teams. Oklahoma very good in their kick returns, and Texas, that's why they lost to Kansas State so badly, because of the lack of special teams a week ago. Justin Moore set to punt. And the left footer sends it a mile high. Great kick. Reggie Smith waits on it, takes it at the 22 and goes down at about the 18. What a hit on the special teams. Brandon Foster got down there to make the hit after a 52-yard punt, and I'm telling you about no return. But we'll return with Oklahoma on offense right after this. All the great prizes, all the great food choices, including the corny dogs.
Yeah.
One of the favorites. We all had one yesterday, and then there's some people that had several more than one.
We didn't all have one, you know.
At the 20-yard line, 2 tight ends set for Oklahoma. One of them, Finley, in motion. And the toss comes to Patrick the other way. Patrick got the corner, and he's out to about the 28, almost the 29-yard line. Just an electric atmosphere in here. The coaches, like Bob Stoops, are as aware of it as we are.
It's just exciting in that regardless of who makes a play, it's loud. Just because of, you know, the stadium being split in half, someone's making a play, so someone's cheering constantly. So it's really like maybe even better than a bowl-type atmosphere.
Noise on every play. Second down and 2. They run Patrick the other way, almost missed the handoff from Bradford and got out. Looks like he's short of the first down, maybe got it.
Looked like that was supposed to be a toss. And Bradford, the freshman, didn't toss it. Looked like Patrick was expecting it because he was way wide.
Way out there. Take a look at the game plan, Bob.
Well, Oklahoma's got to get the ball to their wide receivers, get them involved. And for Texas, McCoy needs to run the show, do a little running with his running backs, and then get the ball to his wide receivers.
Third down, a yard. That's Kelly. Chris Brown in the backfield, and he's got the first down. His first touch, and he gets an all-important first down for the Sooners. We get our first update from Matt Weiner, New York. Matt?
Back in New York, I'm Matt Weiner, keeping you current on everything happening across the country. First up, this Taco Bell update on the battle for the Sunflower State. Both Kansas and Kansas State off to great starts. They played a good football game. Todd Reesing, 30 yards. Dexton Fields on the other end. Reesing's third touchdown pass of the day put it away for the Jayhawks, who are 5-0 for the first time since '95. Brad?
Wow, Coach Mangini's got him playing ball at Kansas. Here's a long ball from Bradford for Kelly. Tipped away. Kelly had his hands on it. Ryan Palmer did a good job staying with him. That ball was laid out pretty well.
Kelly is 6'4" and 220. One of your bigger wide receivers, Palmer, is only 5'10". So you may see that alley-oop throw a couple more times today.
Well, one of the things, Bob, the officials are allowed to do a little pushing. They were both pushing, with their hands, and it's like almost no harm, no foul. Well, they let it go. So that means Warriors now can play a little closer.
There's what Bob was talking about earlier. Held without a catch last week in the loss 27-24 to Colorado. Play action. He's going to do it again. Different receiver, and this time there's going to be a flag. Whoops, wait a minute. Maybe there's not going to be a flag.
Brad, excuse me, I was right here, and it's right in front of me. It's incidental contact. What happened is their legs got tied up. There was no foul on this play.
Tunnell was the intended receiver, and it was Palmer they were working on again.
Right here is where you're going to see there really is no contact. Their legs got crossed up inside. Don't boo. Why are you booing?
We got to give Paul an official's cap because that was a pretty good call on his part. But you can see the guy they're going after, 13 number Palmer. Like I said, only 5'10", 190 pounds.
That's third down and 10. And all the receivers to Bradford's right side. Wants to throw a screen to Chris Brown, and Texas was all over it. Nice job defensively by Bobineau, the middle linebacker, who made the first hit and then got help from his friends.
You're exactly right. Bobineau, 44, got out there and forced him back to the inside where the tackle could be made.
So Michael Cohen has to come in to punt again. Quan Cosby is back deep inside the 30 for Texas. Texas backs away as Cohen's kick flutters and is caught by Cosby with a fair catch at the 27-yard line. So both teams have had to give it up by punts. Texas gets its second shot offensively, and that means Colt McCoy at the controls when we come back. State Fair of Texas runs about 3 weeks. There's a big Ferris wheel. We're going to have McGuire do the game from up there, but he'd only see every other play, we figured.
Yeah, it's hysterical.
Yeah. Just stay where you are. You'll lose weight down there today.
Boy, I can tell you right now, it is hot, Jack.
Texas second possession now at its own 28-yard line. Charles, the single setback behind McCoy, and he gets the toss sweep on the right side. Got the corner. And his best run of the day so far as he got out to about the 33-yard line. We haven't checked the Oklahoma defense. The Best Buy Oklahoma Sooner defense, and Sooner is going to do it for us.
Hoping to get to Colt McCoy sooner than later is the OU defensive line, led by sackmaster Austin English. I've been friends with a few bell cows in my life. OU's bell cow's middle linebacker Curtis Lofton. And in the back, trying to shut down one side of the field, cornerback Reggie Smith.
You know, when you're down there with Boomer and Sooner, you ask him if Texas is going to win, and they neigh. And if you ask him about Oklahoma, they winning. I don't know. Is there something in there? The win part and the neigh part? Second down at 4. Charles puts the brakes out, and then Oklahoma puts the brakes on him after a pickup of 1. Ryan Reynolds submarined him in there, and it's going to bring up a third down and about 4.
That Oklahoma defense is ranked 6th in the nation in overall defense and 7th against the run. For Texas, the offensive line has been one of their problems. 3 of their offensive linemen from last year are in the NFL now. And Brad, that's going to be a big thing, I think, today. We hear McGuire talking down there how hot it is and everything. Right. Those offensive and defensive lines.
Well, they lost Senline, they lost Studdard, they lost Blaylock, and they all went to the NFL.
Yeah,
those linemen a year
these
ago.
big guys in the defensive and offensive lines going to have some breaks now and then.
Shotgun for McCoy. Buys himself some time and throws a shot down to the 40 for a first down to Quan Cosby. Nice throw going to his left for Colt McCoy. This is the second offensive series for Texas, and they got a first down, and they move out to the 40-yard line. Oklahoma has already punted twice. It's just been a battle of field position, quite frankly, so far here at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas between a couple of one-loss teams. One coming off a setback on the final play to Colorado, that being Oklahoma. And the Longhorns got thrashed by Kansas State in Austin last week. So both sets of fans came in knowing how big this game is. Colt McCoy goes out as a wide receiver now with John Childs, the freshman, in the shotgun. And he's going to give it off on a counter to Jamal Charles. Charles across midfield, and run out of bounds at about the 47-yard line. Bob, just a straight handoff on a trap play, but it gives them something to think about with him in there.
Well, when Childs comes in, he's the backup quarterback. That brings Vince Young back into this Texas offense. That means the zone play. He can either hand it off or Childs can keep it and go the other way, and Childs is a very good runner.
And Paul, that play came right at you, and Charles not only fast, but he showed some power that time.
He showed power, and the nice part about it, if you can't play wide receiver in big schools if you can't block, and Cosby's got a great block downfield.
Good point at the 46. Nice play fake by McCoy on the bootleg. Nobody in front of him. He's going deep. Overshot Lima Swede, who was in between two defenders. And it's incomplete. Near the conclusion of our game today, we'll select a Chevrolet player of the game from each team. Chevy will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund.
Bob, you know, one of your tips is to make sure that you take McCoy and take control of this team. He never had to throw that ball. He just went out and threw the ball. Really had, you know, he was wide open. Nobody could get to him. He had blockers in front of him, and he threw the ball away.
Obaniaya is in the backfield now, behind McCoy on second down and 10. And he gets the toss. And he is all bottled up. He might have lost a yard. Nick Harris makes the stop. Colt McCoy, just his second year as a starter, talked with us about what he's like in that Texas huddle.
I'm a motivator. I challenge people. I challenge my teammates. You know, when things need to happen, you know, I say, look, let's go, step it up, let's play. But at the same time, I'm fun, and I want to have fun. I want my teammates to have fun.
See how much fun 3rd and 11 is.
He's also 11 years old. If you look at this guy, he doesn't even shave yet.
In the shotgun. Here comes a blitz off the corner. McCoy's in trouble, and the blitz got to him. Dropped way back at the 45-yard line. Loss of 8.
DJ Wolf, number 25. I'm going to tell you something. We talk about putting some heat on.
Harris and Wolf both came from the secondary, and Texas has got to give it back again.
This is one thing. Number 25, he is the free safety. The strong safety. The free safety, number 5, Harris, also came. One thing about Bob Stoops' defense is you're going to get guys coming from everywhere in passing situations.
Justin Moore set to punt. A dangerous return man on the other end, though he mishandled one a week ago. Reggie Smith is a guy that knows if he gets a little bit of an opening, which direction to head. He's going to have to shag this one down way over in the corner. It's going to jump out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. They'll mark it right at the 16, and that's where the Sooners will take over offensively. Tonight, reminder, Big Ten heavyweights are going to rumble. Ohio State, with that big-time defense, looking to contain Purdue's high-octane passing attack. Or in other regional action, you'll see Notre Dame and UCLA. It's Saturday Night Football, presented by Southwest Airlines. Ohio State, Purdue, or Notre Dame and UCLA tonight on ABC and ABC HD. Bonnie?
Watching Sam Bradford in between series. Josh Heupel, the quarterback coach, is in his hip pocket. I'll tell you what he was talking about right after the play, Brad.
Well, Josh, a guy that led Oklahoma to a national championship as a quarterback, trying to get out of the shadow of their own end zone, and they're going the wrong direction. Bonnie?
When I had a chance to talk to Bradford before the game, he told me he was going to be working as hard as he could to get the butterflies out. His dad was an offensive lineman. This game was an annual tradition in his family. He'd play his high school game on Friday, get at the crack of dawn on Saturday, drive 3.5 hours to get here. He said he was really sort of anticipating what that bus ride in through the fairgrounds was going to be like. He said, I'm going to throw my iPod out to distract me. So what are you going to listen to? Pat Green and Kenny Chesney. So if he plays well, I think they should get some of the credit today.
I like that. I like Toby Keese at the game. He'd even like that, even though it's Chesney he was talking about. Allen dropped in his tracks, and Oklahoma's going the wrong direction. Arakpo, the defensive end, who's really had a nice career at Texas, made the stop.
He's missed a few games too, Brad. He's been injured, out and injured. Take a look at Aquino on the sideline. I think he's going to be up here. He's outweighed by 100 pounds by the left tackle, Lodeholt.
Arakpo's freshman of the year defensively. There's Dwayne Aquino, the defensive coordinator and DB coach. And now Sam Bradford facing the noise of the Texas fans down in that end zone on 3rd down at 14. Fires deep sideline. Got his man out across the 20. Looks like it's going to be a first down to Malcolm Kelly. Kelly had to go way up in the air and then got submarined by Beasley, but it looks like he came down with a first. Let's wait and see.
I'll tell you, Sam Bradford may be a freshman, but I'm going to tell you what, is he's got some poise. He stands back in that pocket. He doesn't worry about that offensive line blocking for him, and that was the perfect pass.
They're going to bring this one 53 yards across the field to check it. This is behind Sam Bradford on this throw.
Take a look at the offensive line blocking. This is real good. He looks to the left and then goes to his #1 target, Malcolm Kelly. Just a 6'4", got to be a big target. If he picks up first down here, this is huge for Oklahoma.
And they stretch it out. Boy, they knew what they were doing with the spot and bringing it all the way. On 3rd and 14, they got 14 and a couple of inches. First down, Oklahoma. So Sam Bradford, growing up in Oklahoma, he always wanted to be part of this game.
Growing up in the state of Oklahoma, going to games when I was younger, you know exactly, what it means. Just, it's huge. I mean, everyone in Oklahoma, everyone who comes here, like, you want to beat Texas. That's a goal every year.
And we mentioned, Bonnie did, his daddy Kent was an offensive lineman here at OU in 77 and 78 seasons. Nice play fake by Bradford. Going deep. And caught. Gresham, the tight end, went up and just took it away from everybody. And there's a flag in the Oklahoma backfield.
Man, I'll tell you what, you talk about a guy going up and taking the ball away. It happened right here in front of me. And Gresham just went up with one hand and stole the ball.
Still no preliminary signal. Sam Bradford just clapped his hands as if saying it's coming back. So it's holding, obviously.
Holding on the offense, number 74. 10-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. Repeat first down.
It's a little bit what happened to Oklahoma against Colorado last week. They do something well, and then they turn around and have something backfire, and it'll go the wrong way.
Yeah.
And pretty soon that snowballed into an upset.
Well, especially their offense. Their offense wasn't on the field that much.
Right.
Especially in the second half.
Colorado had 82 plays to 46 for Oklahoma last week. And that's just keeping your defense on the field too long, not making enough plays. Bob Stoops not happy with the holding call. And you see the yardage given up.
Last week, that ball game in the loss, Colorado had it 39 minutes. Oklahoma's offense only had it 21 minutes.
And of course, it was the last second that counted, the kick that ended it. 1st and 20. They'll keep it on the ground. Oh, what a hit in the middle on DeMarco Murray. Head-on collision with McElroy, the outside linebacker. Show that lives up to its name. I watched this one the other night. Wednesdays, America's wealthiest families will be on the loose, and only one man can keep them out of the headlines. You can't be filthy rich like McGuire without getting a little dirty. It's Dirty, Sexy, Money. It's an all-new episode Wednesday at 10, 9 Central on ABC.
Boudinot with the right ankle injury. He went into the locker room a couple minutes ago, but just came out. I think he got retaped. He's got his helmet back on, so we should see him back any minute now, Brad.
All right, Bonnie, thanks. 2nd down, 17 for the Sooner offense. Bradford going deep again, and in perfect stride down to the 43-yard line to Joaquin Iglesias. What a throw that was. And again, they're working on this corner.
Bob, I'm going to tell you what, when you're down here and you see this stuff happening right in front of you, it is incredible where he put this ball. Bradford put this ball on Iglesias' hands where he just can't help but catch the football. And the defense didn't have a chance.
Greasy caught the back end of the ball. You can't put it out there any better than that.
You can't throw it any better than that. Bradford is really having a good first quarter. He's throwing the ball away if he needs to, if they're covered, and if not, he's giving them a chance to catch the football.
Iglesias, their top receiver, his 30th catch. That one good for 39 yards down to the 42-yard line. So Oklahoma's got it on Texas' side of the 50 and over in their side of the crimson and cream jerseys for the first time. Bradford might want a home run ball down the middle. Got into Kelly at the 1-yard line. And that one couldn't have been thrown any better either.
It's absolutely incredible the way these guys time it at the last second and go up and get the ball, Bob. It's beautiful.
thing I like, he's going to be all by himself. All the Texas defenders, there's nobody in the middle of the field to help out.
Sam Bradford, 2 throws, good for 80 yards. Oklahoma 1st and goal at the Texas 1-yard line. Patrick, oh boy, was he met in the hole by Jared Norton, the middle linebacker.
Well, there was a helmet that scored a touchdown, but unfortunately it was a Texas helmet that went 10 yards into the end zone.
2nd down and goal. Watch this collision.
Norton is in there for Bobineau, and he stops him short.
Alan Patrick's carried it 7 times and has only 6 yards. Chris Brown comes in to take his spot at tailback.
So right down to throw it if you want to.
2nd and goal. There's the play fake as Bob called it. Touchdown, Oklahoma. Jermaine Gresham.
Great call, Bobby.
Sam Bradford's 16th touchdown pass of the year.
There's Gresham. He's just going to release the play fake, comes this way. Nobody in the secondary. It's almost like stealing. If you throw on a rundown, it's almost like stealing that close to the end zone.
Garrett Hartley in for the point after. He's missed 3 this year. Ooh, he almost missed that one, but he tucked it inside the right upright, and the Sooners draw blood first in Dallas.
You know, Brad, I said that the difference maker may be Sam Bradford, and you watched in that last drive. You talk about perfect passes, and you know, when you're in a quarterback's head like Greasy is, you call touchdown plays, which I thought was terrific. But every pass that he threw was on target, even the one where they had the holding penalty.
That one was called back, but House 4 for 4 for 95 yards and a touchdown on 1 drive set.
I like it. You know, he is the only starter on the Oklahoma offense from the state of Oklahoma. They have 5 starters on that offense from Texas.
You know, those 2 perfect long throws, good for 80 yards. But remember, on 3rd down and 14, he threw that 14 and 2-inch one to Kelly.
That's a huge pass to pick up a 1st down really early in the drive.
Hartley, the kick will come down short on the 14 to Cosby on the run, and Quan Cosby all the way out to the 40-yard line. Let's take a look at our ESPNU All-State Standings review. LSU, everybody's #1 after USC slipped a little bit. How about the new guys on the block, Bob?
Well, the 3 in the middle, 6, 7, and 8. South Florida, Boston College, and Kentucky. But wait a minute. You got to cross Kentucky out. They lost to South Carolina the other night.
I think you got to cross Wisconsin off, too, don't you?
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So there goes another undefeated from the Big Ten. Here, a couple of 4-1 clubs trying to keep their Big 12 title hopes alive. Whoa, look out. I heard the whistle way up here, and Austin English is going to say he didn't.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. You can hear it up there because it's in your headset. But I'm going to tell you something. Down here on the field, you can't hear anything. Austin English didn't hear anything, and that was not a cheap shot. He was taking a shot at the quarterback.
Penalty, still 1st down.
Boy, Mack Brown was all the way out, halfway out. Mack's still halfway out to the hash marks.
He's saying my guy was standing there. McCoy is standing there.
Paul may not have been able to hear, but I can hear it up here.
I know you can hear it, but you're down here and you're fighting off a guy. You're looking at the quarterback. You're going, this noise is intense. And I can tell you right now, English didn't hear it.
Mack Brown, I don't know that I've ever seen him that upset on the sideline.
Yeah, I don't blame him for being upset, but I'm with Paul. You know, that defensive end is coming pretty hard.
Nice throw.
And it's really loud down there.
Nice throw by McCoy to Swede on a quick slant, good for 11. You got to think about Colt McCoy taking, in my opinion, a late hit. I don't care if you didn't hear the flag or not. He obviously took a late hit. And remember, he had a mild concussion last week in the loss to Kansas State. And you don't want to take one of those freebies when you don't have all your bats in your belfry to start with.
That's for sure. He had a mild concussion. And, you know, it's... I've had those concussions before. You can feel them coming on.
You get one about every other Thursday.
You start forgetting. You start forgetting things very slowly.
Well, Colt's going to come over to the sideline. Texas trailing Oklahoma. Sooners have a touchdown lead at the end of one at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas.
Howdy, folks. Welcome back to the State Fair of Texas. College football lives here.
All right, Big Tex, good job. We're living here in the second quarter at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, a Red River rivalry for the 102nd time. Oklahoma leading Texas on the first snap of the quarter. It's 7-0 on a Sam Bradford touchdown pass. Jamal Charles. Well, there's some hitting going on right now between these two teams, and I don't think the blood's that great either after that hit on Colt McCoy after the whistle just a few moments ago. But Bradford's looked the best so far.
He definitely has, and I think the heat and the humidity is going to take a toll, and I think the depth, especially in the offensive and defensive lines, and the winner in that side is going to be Oklahoma, because the depth on the offensive line for Texas is not that good. A lot of young players.
Well, one of the best hits of the day was the one on Colt McCoy. It was second only to the policeman who tried to tackle me going in the elevator after I did my on-camera down the field. Guess I should have worn my pass.
That would have helped.
Oh, boy. McCoy in trouble in the pocket, and down he goes. He tried to scramble forward down to the 49-yard line, a little bit short. Paul, you've had a bird's eye view right there on the 50.
Well, the difference, Brad, is this. Bradford has got time to throw the ball so he can look at more than one receiver. And if you looked at Colt McCoy just on that last play, he doesn't have time. He looked right out here to see if a receiver was open. They were not open. And he had to tuck it and run. He's not getting the time.
Paul with a nice air-conditioned view there on.
I kind of like where he is.
I do too. It gives us a little bit of breathing room as always.
You know, you sounded a lot like Big Tex about midnight on Friday.
Justin Moore to punt. Way up in the air, Reggie Smith camps under it inside the 10-yard line. Reggie was kind of between a rock and a hard place there. He didn't want to take the fair catch inside the 10, but he knew Texas had some people down there in a hurry anyway. Malcolm Kelly's got one or two big catches today. He'd like to have a few more when Oklahoma gets on offense in a minute. ESPN's college football on ABC, presented by Best Buy. 7-0 Sooners. They've got the lead. The bad news is, as their fans look on with the binoculars, they're almost at their own goal line. Start at the 7-yard line on this possession after the punt. It has been tough sledding for Alan Patrick today. This is the Red River rivalry. Goes back to 1900, and you say, well, why is it such a big deal? Why they play at the Cotton Bowl? Because it's almost exactly between Austin and Norman. In fact, Norman is closer than Austin is, and we're in Texas, not Oklahoma. Go figure.
3 miles closer.
That's a great picture. How about that, huh? All the way from the Cotton Bowl Stadium, then we split you all the way to Norman to the north and Austin to the south.
I try to say that real fast. Why will we?
You're not real good at it. I'd just keep that to yourself if I was you. A quick opening draw, and it didn't open much. Out to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. Of course, Texas, most of their players are Texas kids. Oklahoma's got 45 players from Texas. Texas, no players from Oklahoma. But this is huge as far as their recruiting base, too. That's another reason I like playing the game at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. It's not an official site for recruits, but obviously everybody that's anybody within 100 miles of this place wants to be in this stadium, or out at the State Fair having some corny dogs, or both. Quick slant behind Kelly. It's one of the few poor passes Bradford's thrown today. And so now the Sooners are going to have to kick from their own end zone.
Sooners have not had good field position. 3 of their 4 possessions have started inside their own 20, but they got the one long drive with the good passing by their young quarterback.
Bob Stoops, his 9th year, as you saw him on the sideline, with 90 wins. Mack Brown, his 10th year with 97 wins at Texas. 2 of the finest in the country at their jobs. Cohen now trying to punt it out of trouble here, but Quan Cosby could have a play on this one. Boy, another beauty. Cosby backpedaling to the 32. Got by the first, the second, but not the third and fourth. He made something out of it, though, to get it back to the 39-yard line. That was a 56-yard punt.
Both punters have kicked well
Yes,
here early.
Hey, it's time for our Aflac trivia question, guys. Let's cue the duck. Here we go.
Whack, whack, whack.
First game of this series was played in 1900. I mentioned that earlier. How many states were in the Union at that time? This is a history question. This is not just a football show, folks. We try to hit all bases here.
Yeah.
You know, it's a family show. It's an educational get-together for us every Saturday. It's not just about football. Think it over.
Think it over.
How many states are there now?
At the 39, first down for Texas. Trying to get their offense on track. Been sputtering so far. That'll get him going down the middle. Finley, the tight end, inside the 30. Finley all the way to the 5. "55 yards. Colt McCoy on the quick hitter to his tight end.
Right here, Finley just right down the middle. Good protection. Nice see, nice read, and nice throw.
Finley, one of those big targets, 6'5", 240, career-long catch for him, and it sets Texas up at the OU 6-yard line. First and goal. McCoy, play fake, scrambles, throws to the corner, touchdown, Texas! The ship came in. Jordan Shipley for the touchdown.
I'll tell you what, this is so pretty because watch what Shipley does. He stops at the goal line. Then he sees McCoy in trouble, and he just leaves the defender and heads to the corner of the end zone, staying in bounds.
Well, McCoy made the play because he bought some time, scrambled toward the outside, and then the cornerback lost his man, and then he made a good throw.
Shipley stays out there to hold for Ryan Bailey. And the extra point is up and good. And the rivalry is cooking in Dallas. So's the heat and humidity. 9th touchdown pass of the year for Colt McCoy. And he's got his Longhorns back in it. We're tied at 7. That's Oklahoma's Heartland Flyer. Runs a 408-mile round trip daily from Oklahoma City to Fort Worth, Texas. So game day passengers can get fired up on their way to Dallas for the Red River rivalry. That's a way to go. You know, they got like a beverage cart on that train. I'm taking a train. That's the only way to get here.
And you know they have a beverage cart.
I'm sure they do. There's no beverages in that cart, and there's a lot of beverage in that guy. That's what keeps him so calm. Here's the kick and the cannon. And fielding the kick, DeMarco Murray at the 9. Murray's got great speed, got outside. Murray at the 40. Brought down at the 49 by the kicker, or he might have had a touchdown. Hunter Lawrence saved a score, 40-yard kick return.
Well, Murray's already run one back for a touchdown this year, and Texas gave up 2 kick returns, 1 punt and 1 kickoff last week in their loss to Kansas State.
Bob, you know what's really nice about Murray? Watch him hesitate now. He sets this up for himself. He looks like he's going to his left. Then he cuts all the way back across the field. The blocking is super. The only guy left was the kicker, and he made the play.
There he comes, and a good job to get him at the knees as Oklahoma starts with its best field position. Bob was talking about it. Hadn't been good all day. It is now at the 49. The run game has been tough. Alan Patrick got maybe a couple. Derek Lokey made the stop. You know, at the beginning of the year, everybody's saying, who's going to be Oklahoma's quarterback? Bob Stoops says this kid has handled everything perfectly.
And everything that he's done, he's been very cool in everything that he's done. He hasn't made foolish decisions at all. He's been very sharp, been very accurate. He's been a leader in the huddle, a calm presence in the huddle. So our guys have, you know, great confidence in him, and I feel great about what he's doing.
And what he's done in this first half gives you some confidence. 7 out of 11, including a touchdown pass. On 2nd and 8, he looks left, wanted to go deep right, and now he's going deep down at the 40-yard line. Arakpo in on him again. Loss of 10.
Well, he was trying to go to Kelly on the right-hand side. He thought he had single coverage over on that side. And what happened, what makes me realize how smart this kid is, watch him. He will take the sack. There'll be other plays. He doesn't throw the ball away. He has no one to throw the ball to. Get down.
So it drops them back to a 3rd and a mile at their own 41-yard line. 3rd down and 18. Murray in the backfield with Bradford, who comes up to the line and now backs into the shotgun. Here comes the pressure. And he's going to throw incomplete. And wisely didn't try to lay that one up and have it intercepted. He knows he's got another play in the next series. So Josh Heupel talking to him there on the sideline as Oklahoma had great field position and they went in the wrong direction, so they've got a punt.
Young quarterbacks have to learn that not every play that you call is going to work as well as the coaches wanted to in the meetings during the week. So sometimes you got to make the decision to eject and just throw it away.
So now the punt for Michael Cohen. Quan Cosby averaging a little over 12 yards per punt return, back deep for the Longhorns. And Quan takes a chance on this one, and he's going to go down right about where he caught it. Good coverage by Lewis Baker. Down on the special teams to make the hit. We're still dead even with 9:42 to go first half. Always a great place to be in Dallas, State Fair, Texas. We have a great time here. So do the Longhorn and Sooner fans that fill this place up, 80,000 strong. And as Bonnie said earlier, split right down the 50 with the burnt orange and the crimson and cream. Quite a sight. Longhorns last drive, 61 yards and a couple of plays, including Colt McCoy's touchdown. And whistles at the snap.
Whistles before the snap are never good for an offensive team.
Coming out of a timeout with a delay of game. It is the worst penalty, in my opinion, in the world, and Mack would probably agree. Let's check in with Bonnie.
You know, Brad, one of the things that McCoy told me was on his goal card this week was just go out and play. Be instinctive, which is something he's kind of had trouble with, A, because he's been dealing with an inconsistent offensive line, B, because there's a lot more on his plate this year. Last season, when he went and set the single-season touchdown record, the playbook wasn't that big. He knew exactly where he was going. Now he's got a lot more options. He said, I'm still having fun. I just really need to have a better understanding of what all of my options are.
Well, he's got to think faster without those all Big 12 linemen in front of him that he had last year. Boy, neither team can get anything going on the ground. Jamal Charles maybe got 3 yards, and that's about it. Stood up by Curtis Lofton, the middle linebacker. Our Pacific Life game summary. It's been a game of great catches and big-time throws, like Malcolm Kelly, who's caught 2 for 55. That one got him down close. Sam Bradford had a near perfect drive. In fact, he did have a perfect drive. 4 for 4 on that drive for 95 yards and that touchdown. And then Colt McCoy, as Bob said in the game plan, he's got to run the show. That time he ran to his left to buy himself some time and got Jordan Shipley in the corner. And that's where we are with 9 minutes remaining in the second quarter and tied at 7. Here comes a blitz off the corner. McCoy stands in deep middle. Got him again. His tight end. It's Finley on the run. Finley with a blocker in front inside the 40. All the way down to the 28-yard line. So Finley, the big play man for Colt McCoy. 55 earlier, 58 yards that time.
You know, on this play, let me just tell you something. On this play here, watch how long Finley waited to go for the ball. It's absolutely incredible. The blocking is there. The ball is in the air. He just waits and waits and waits and never shows the defense, then goes up and just takes it away.
Well, the thing about it, he was being covered by a linebacker, Reynolds, number 8, who never saw the football. And then Finley goes up and makes a great catch.
Oklahoma, the first warning of the game.
Sideline warning aimed at the far side to Bob Stoops' crew on the OU bench. John Childs, the freshman quarterback, is checked back into the Texas lineup for the second time today. The last time he handed off to Jamal Charles. This time Colt McCoy will come out wide to the right to the bottom of your screen. That's the quarterback, and that means Childs is the guy running the show in the shotgun right now. He fakes it. He's going to run it on his own. Got a pretty decent gain Out to, whoops, and he almost took a swing at somebody there with his foot. Got it to the 21-yard line. We asked you the Aflac trivia question earlier, kind of non-football related. But the question was, if you missed it, the first meeting in this series was 1900. How many states were in the Union at that time? And the answer is there were 45. And Oklahoma wasn't one of them. Oklahoma was still a territory. They came in 1907, as they say. New Mexico, Arizona, Alaska, and Hawaii followed.
So that means there's 50 now, right?
There's 50, Paul. That's Citadel Education. Still no running room for Jamal Charles. Maybe two more. Curtis Lofton made the tackle.
We're talking about Colt McCoy, and one of the things I think this year, after a great year last year, is he expects more of himself.
Yeah.
He knows more, he studies more, and he expects everything to be perfect. Well, you can't do that. I mean, you can't go out and expect every play to be perfect, every throw to be perfect. Just go out and make it good. And if it is perfect, then you'll take it. But your expectations are too high if you're expecting that.
And Greg Davis, the offensive coordinator, said he's trying to do too much. He's taking too much of the load on his shoulders. Blitz coming from the corner again. McCoy straight down. Tight end Finley, touchdown.
Great throw.
Colt McCoy said, bring that pressure. I'll go to Finley once. I'll go to him again. And then I'll go to him 22 yards for the touchdown.
And you know what, Grease? You had the same thing. You had Ryan Reynolds, a linebacker, covering him in the middle of the field, number 8. Look in the middle of the field where the ball is thrown. You're going to see the linebacker. He doesn't get there.
Boy, he put some steam on that one. McCoy's second touchdown, Texas' first lead. And Ryan Bailey in to try to tack on the 14th Longhorn points. And it's up and good with 6 minutes and 58 seconds remaining in the first half. A lot of people thought Texas did not have a chance in this 102nd renewal of the Red River rivalry. I think they're wrong. Touchdown Texas, they lead by 7. Greatest football players in college football history, like Earl Campbell and Tommy Nobis and Billy Sims and Steve Owens, and you can go on for about a day.
Billy Vessels.
Billy Vessels. Bob's late great friend and one of the Heisman winners for the Sooners. Here's a kick. Down to the 8-yard line to Iglesias. Joaquin looking to be running, not walking, and he's running all the way out with a flag down to midfield. 2 flags flying.
Holding on Oklahoma, Brad, right here. I can see with the officials. I wish they'd give me one of those little flags.
Yeah, you need one of those. Maybe you should at least get a red one. We can have a broadcaster challenge somewhere along the line.
Yeah, okay.
Here's a call.
During the return, hold on the receiving team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
So it would have been great field position with that kick return. The wedge set up to the left.
Well, here's Iglesias. He just waits for the hold. Now take a look up on the right-hand side. There's a hold there. There's actually 2 flags. And right on the right, there's another hold.
It's a
you
double
see it right
hold.
in the hole?
Yep.
It's a double-double.
It was
you
a
only
double.
get 10.
There was 2 holds right in the screen as Bob circled. And Paul was right on top of the scene and on top of Cart Cam. There he is. The Sooners just trying to establish a little bit of ground game, and for the first time today, DelMarco Murray got 8 yards. That's their best run, I think, of the afternoon for the Sooners. Monday Night Football on ESPN continues. Tony Romo and the undefeated Dallas Cowboys. You talk about a hero in this town. They'll take on the Buffalo Bills. It's the first time the Cowboys have been 4-0 since '95. That's when they won their last Super Bowl. Monday Night Football on ESPN, 8:30 Eastern. Coverage starts at 7 Eastern with Monday Night Countdown delivered by UPS. And there is Tony Romo, quarterback rating of 112.9.
The best thing he does is scramble, move around, buy some time. The one he did last week was unbelievable.
Here's a pass completed to Iglesias. Nope, they're going to say incomplete. Beg your pardon. Killebrew is there, along with Brandon Foster.
Hey, Bob, don't you have the feeling that the team here that can establish any kind of a run is going to win this football game?
I don't think either team is going to be able to run the ball, and that's why it's going to go back on these 2 young quarterbacks to hit the wide receivers.
Might be whoever has the ball last.
And the tight end.
And the tight end. Yeah, Finley's been big so far.
He has been huge.
Oklahoma's only got 16 yards rushing. By the way, if you get confused, we have Finley's on both sides that are tight ends, so we'll try to keep them straight for you. Bradford with time completes it down to midfield and then some. Still on his feet to the 45's Iglesias. So Joaquin, who had the kick return taken away from him, comes up big a couple of times and keeps the drive alive. A pickup at 13.
They had a posse over there on the right side. These three guys right here are going to come downfield. Number 9 is just going to stop right there, and everything clears out. Bradford just says, all right, I'm going to wait and see. I got good time, good protection, and then just drills him.
Of course, when you start worrying about Malcolm Kelly, number 4, the deep threat, then this guy kills you in the slot. And he's had a good game so far after 5 catches in last year's game. Chris Brown. Brown puts a shoulder into the defensive back at the 36-yard line, runs Brandon Foster out of bounds. Good gain. He picked up 9. So finally a couple of runs by OU, but it hasn't been Alan Patrick. It's been Murray and now Brown. Coming up, Cooper Tire halftime report. John's back. John, Craig, Doug will have all the highlights. Let you know if this season's surprise teams continue to roll. Seems like we have surprises every week. I don't know if you call it parity or equality or whatever, but you better come to play every week or you're going to get stepped on. As Mack Brown showed the heat on the sideline, the heat's on his defense right now as Bradford goes long, tipped and broken up. That would have been a big play, but Brandon Foster got a hand on it, intended for Joe John Finley, the Oklahoma tight end. Talk about surprise teams, Grease. There's been some, huh?
You got positive and negative. Certainly South Florida and Illinois. How about Illinois?
Yeah.
Some of the other teams, but look at the negatives. Notre Dame hasn't won a game. Louisville thought they were going to be good this year. Michigan's lost those 2 games early on, but you know, Brad, I don't think anybody is going to get through the whole year undefeated.
I don't either. It just seems too hard this year.
It's going to be one of those years.
Flags down as Chris Brown has a good run for a first down. I think Aaron Lewis may have jumped offside for Texas, and Oklahoma would take this play and keep on going if that's the case.
Offside on the defense.
I'd say that was nice with the quarterback. I mean, he kind of delayed the call in the numbers. It was kind of in his voice fluctuation that really got the defensive end offside. And then they continued on with the play. That's the good part about it. That's a heads-up football for Oklahoma.
Lewis comes out, the guy that the penalty was called on, and Eddie Jones, you saw number 32, enter the Texas defensive huddle. Meanwhile, Oklahoma trying to tie this thing up with 5 minutes and change remaining in the first half, and they've driven it down to the 7th play drive to the 30-yard line, and they've mixed it up beautifully so far today at the Texas 30. Here comes the quick throw, wide out screen. It's Iglesias. So Iglesias, he caught
late flag.
A late flag, as Paul said. He caught 5 passes for 69 yards last year. And Iglesias, that is the second one for 52 as Mack and Bob look on.
After the play, personal foul, late hit on the defense, number 32. At the distance to the goal.
You know,
push down.
You take out Aaron Lewis because he jumped off sides, and the guy that comes in to take his spot gets a personal foul on the next play.
Yeah.
That's not good. They're going to go to the middle guy. Henry Melton will come in at defensive end. Mack Brown says, you guys sit. Henry, his former fullback, can come out and play now. And the coach is looking for an explanation. So now the ball is at about the 12-yard line, 1st and 10. And Oklahoma can still get a first down at around the 2.
Texas has to call timeout, Brad. They had too many guys on the field. They don't know what they want to do on defense. They sent one off, 2 guys on.
Timeout, maybe switching that defensive end so many times has got everybody confused. With just under 5 minutes remaining in the half, Mack Brown is trying to tell his guys, calm down here, with 5 minutes left to go in the second quarter. This day in college football history. Remember this one? It was 17 years ago. Colorado downs the ball there, spikes it. Now it's 2nd down. Now look back up in the corner. You're going to see that the down marker never changed. There's 3 plays. Now it says 3rd down. It should be 4th. There's another spike job to stop the clock. And then they get a 5th down, even though it says 4th down on the marker. And this one is good for a touchdown. And that was part of Colorado's 11-1-1 season, a 33-31 win over Missouri, and claimed a share of the national championship later on in that year. And that came on this day in college football, 17 years. I can't believe it, 17
years. It seems like that was just a couple of weeks ago.
Exactly. So first down, Oklahoma.
Single coverage out here down at the bottom.
Bradford play fake to the corner and incomplete. Intended for Eldridge, one of the tight ends in the lineup. They had 3 in there. Ryan Palmer broke it up.
He really threw the ball the only place he could. I mean, he was open. He was open, but there was a defensive man right near him. He's going to try to hit him right out here. The guy he should go to is down at the bottom of the screen, single coverage. Now, when he throws this ball, there's a Texas guy hanging back there. If he tries to throw it any tighter than that, he could have been picked off.
Sinai's got 2 wide receivers down to the left and Kelly up to the right. Texas showing blitz. Here they come. Bradford throws in the flat. Completed about the 8-yard line. Picked up 4 down Emmanuel Johnson. And Eric Jackson made the tackle. So now it's 3rd down. And again, it's not 3rd and goal. They can get a first down at about the 2-yard line.
They've had twice. They've had Malcolm Kelly one-on-one on the outside. The one that Bob 2 plays ago you're talking about, I was watching Malcolm come across the middle. Bob, it didn't even look like he was even supposed to be in the pattern because he just jogged.
No, he didn't even run because he knew the play was going the other way.
Actually, the first down marker's closer to the 1, not the 2. So it's 3rd down and 6. Bradford over the middle, touchdown Oklahoma, and it's Jermaine Gresham.
Keep calling those tight ends, Greasy.
Both teams have good ones, if not great ones, and they are using them today. Bradford's 2nd touchdown, much like Colt McCoy, and we're a point away from being even again.
Here you are over here. He's just going to release to the inside. Man coverage.
Perfect throw. So Bradford's thrown 2. McCoy has thrown 2. And now it's up to Garrett Hartley to tie the game, and he does. With 4 minutes and 3 seconds remaining in the first half. Good Red River rivalry going in Dallas, Texas. Bradford a touchdown, and we're even at 14. Back in Dallas, where it's been a tight end fest today. Jermichael Finley has done a lot of the work for the Longhorns. Jermaine Gresham and Joe John Finley for the Sooners. 14-14. Both quarterbacks have thrown 2 touchdown passes here in the first half. That capped a 66-yard drive for Sam Bradford in 10 plays. And Sam got his 17th touchdown pass of the season. Perfect on 3rd down.
Both quarterbacks playing well here today in a big rivalry game. That's the way it should be.
Garrett Hartley's got it teed up at the 30. Quan Cosby and Obadiah are back deep for Texas. And it's about 2 yards deep for Cosby. Across the 20, 25, got a little bit of room. Nice stiff arm at the 35 and all the way to the 41-yard line. That's a 43-yard kick return and sets up Texas with good field position as we check in with Matt Weiner in New York. Matt.
Brad, this Sports Center Minute is powered by Vizio. Wisconsin's 14-game win streak is history. Richard Mendenhall had 3 touchdowns, 190 yards of total offense. Bob's Illinois team off to a 3-0 Big Ten start. And Kansas got both a touchdown pass and this interception from their two-way star, Aqib Talib. They're 5-0 for the first time since '95 after beating Kansas State.
That's what we're talking about. It's been a wacky season so far.
Mark Mangino doing a great job over at Kansas.
Down the middle, right through the umpire goes Jamal Charles.
Umpire, credit him. Give him our stats guy. 1 for the umpire. And it was a nice tackle. It's kind of a leg whip. I'd have called a penalty on myself. It wasn't. I'm looking right at him. He's right in front of me. Watch the leg whip. This is what gets you. He's trying to get out of the way is what he's doing. It gets him with the old leg whip right about there. And down he goes.
That's Hugh Douglas, the umpire.
That's a 15-yard penalty.
Hugh Douglas made a lot of tackles in his day. There's another one by Hugh Douglas. Colt McCoy's hit his last 6 passes. Second down here and 8. Has time. Flags are down. We're going to have a holding call as he lofts one out and almost caught by Jordan Shipley. Would have been a great catch, but it's coming back anyways. We're going to have a flag on the play. Yard line. Second down of 18. McCoy wants to throw a screen. Oh, that didn't work. DeMarcus Granger, the defensive tackle.
Ness, the problem is that Jamal Charles got stuck in the offensive line and couldn't get out for the screen. Watch the linemen. You're going to see them all blocking. It's great blocking right here. Now see Charles move up inside. He can't get out. So McCoy sees him and he said, I've got to eat the ball because I have no one to throw the ball to.
English, number 33, the defensive end, saw it coming all the way. The offensive lineman tried to cut him, and then he saw Charles trying to get out. He just smelled it out the whole way.
Third down, and you don't have many 28s in your playbook.
You don't have any. Not many. There aren't any.
And Colt McCoy says, give me some time, ref. He'll take a timeout with 2 minutes and 16 seconds remaining in a fast and fun first half at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. Number 10 Oklahoma, number 19 Texas. If you just joined us with Bob Greasy, Paul McGuire, Bonnie Bernstein, I'm Brad Nessler. This is the 102nd time these two teams have gotten together, and they're playing even football right now. Colt McCoy just snapped that pass off to Finley for the touchdown. He knew he didn't have much time to make the throw, and then Bradford came back and said, you know what, I got a tight end I'm going to use. Gresham with the score. Both quarterbacks have thrown 2 today. We're tied 14-14. Texas has not opened up a college season with 2 straight conference losses since 1956. They don't want to make it another one of those records. And you know what? They go back to a 3-game losing streak that dates back to last year. They're coming off conference losses. Right. They're coming off a loss to Kansas State, as we mentioned last week in Austin. It shocked everybody. Draw play. Charles has not been able to escape this Sooner defense. Lindy Holmes came up, made the stop. And Oklahoma takes a timeout now. That'll be their first. They've got 2 remaining with which to work, as Texas is going to have a 4th and long and have to punt it away. Here's a who am I for you. The Oklahoma-Texas series. I hold the record for the most points scored in an OU-Texas game. Who am I? I think I remember that one. Matter of fact, I think we did that one. Quentin Griffin. They give him a touchdown. Heupel to Griffin, and then Griffin, and then, hey, Quentin, one. Try it. That's 3. Here you go, Quentin, up the middle. Flag decline. Try it again. There's 5. Quentin Griffin, 6 touchdowns in 2000 in this matchup, in a game that Oklahoma went on in a rout to win. Oklahoma won 5 straight in the series from that point, and Texas has won the last 2. This punt not quite as deep, but way up in the air. And Reggie Smith make the catch, has about 1 foot left before the sideline. Now he gives ground to gain ground. Oh, and a flag goes down. That the one guy that he needed to get by, he couldn't. So he ran about 40 yards and he lost 4.
He is exciting.
There was a block in there, and I think it was Darren Williams, number 41, that came back and almost killed somebody.
Legal block in the back. Return team, number 26. 10-yard penalty. First down.
While the return games and the penalties against Oklahoma are killing their field position right here. See Reggie just tiptoes and then turns around and he says, okay, I'm going all the way back over the other way. And he had about 1 more guy. And oh, there's the block that Paul was talking about.
Yeah.
Here it comes. That's an ear hole job right there.
Right here.
You know, if he just catches the ball and steps out of bounds, he'd have picked up 30 yards. I mean, it's incredible. Just, you know, trying to get something, make something happen.
Try and tell a 22-year-old kid that.
Not even from this close.
So way back now at the 14-yard line. Bradford throws a little swing out to Murray. And another flag flies in. So that's going to negate apparently a first down throw with 1:48 remaining in the half.
Got a lot of flags coming out, Parge.
All of a sudden, yep.
You think they're getting tired and they're just holding on?
Could be. It's a very hot day, and you said it's going to take a toll.
Holding on the offense, number 73, half the distance to the goal. Repeat first down.
Coming into the ball game, both of these teams were ranked in the lower third of penalties in the conference.
Games coming up tonight that you'll see on our family of networks. Ohio State and Purdue, both undefeated. Ooh, your old alma mater.
The old alma mater.
I tell you.
They're still throwing the ball.
They're throwing it a little bit. Mr. Painter's throwing some footballs around. We'll see if he can zip a few by Laurinaitis and company.
Exactly. I think this would be the best competition that both of these teams have seen so far.
Oklahoma knows what to do in the final 2 minutes of halves this year, but they're a long, long ways away. Cutback run by Murray, and he only got to about the 9-yard line. Bonnie?
Hey, Grease, I'm wondering if you know this. Purdue trying to go 6-0 for the first time since when? How long's it been?
Oh,
come on, Mr. Alum.
Couple years, I was for sure.
No, how about 64?
Whoa.
64 years since Purdue started out 6-0.
Where does she get these tidbits on your alma mater?
She obviously has plenty of time on her hands.
But you know what? All we do, what do we do all week, Brad? We sing, oh, Purdue, and we support the cause, don't we?
Yes, we do.
So every once in a while, if I could sing you, it's okay with me.
Bonnie, that was his first year.
64 years
that
ago.
did not come out of my mouth.
Obviously, Maryland is having a pretty good year this year. She wouldn't chime up. Yeah.
They got a timeout with 1:04. And Oklahoma's down to 1. Texas out of timeouts. Bob Stoops looking on from the sideline. I mentioned comes in with 90 victories and only 20 losses. 3-time Big 12 Coach of the Year. Has a national championship to his credit. Mack Brown likewise. 10 years from Mack. 97 wins at Texas and a lot more when you go back over his head coaching career. And both guys have won national championships. I mean, these are not just two of the best programs in the country. No. These are two of the best coaches around.
And the Big 12 has them both. And, you know, we know them both, and we know them very well. And like you said, they've won national championships both in the first 10 years. But and they're going to win some more.
A lot of the kids will say that they go to Texas because of the family atmosphere that Mack and Sally have. And Bob Stoops has family day once a week for his coaches.
It's both programs have that family environment.
Here's Murray, and he gets out of bounds right in front of the Sooner bench over there, taken out by McElroy. And we're under a minute. 14-14. Oklahoma, the top team in the country since World War II, if you look at it that way. 528 wins. Texas is closing in on Notre Dame in the all-time win list. The way Notre Dame is playing right now, it might be a lot closer by the end of the year if Texas gets on a roll and Notre Dame keeps going the way they've been going. Bradford trots over to Josh Heupel, and there's Josh. Led Oklahoma to a national championship. Now with the headsets, and he is an already sensational young coach. And the chain broke on the sideline. That's what slowing things down.
That slows college football down anyway.
Yep.
That chain, by the time they move it forever first down.
Well, they can't go by our yellow line because we explained that to you last week. It's really not on the field. It's just in your imagination.
It's on your TV screen.
That's right. 3rd down and 2. Murray trying to hurdle his way. He didn't get anywhere near it. Sergio Kindle, the outside linebacker, made the stop. Texas out of timeouts, so Oklahoma's going to bleed this clock for all it's worth before they either punt it or snap.
Well, partner,
the
we've
football.
seen a lot of offense.
Yep.
We've seen, but most of it has been through the air. Not much running, and that's to be expected because both of these teams are really good defensively against the run. And I'm really excited about the young quarterbacks and how well they're doing throwing the football.
Longhorns only give up 89 yards a game on the ground. Oklahoma only gives up 68. So they're playing up to their status defensively, but through the air, both McCoy and Bradford, as Bob said, have been sensational in this first half. 10 seconds and now under. And now they'll take their last time out. And they'll have 9 seconds to punt things away. Let's check in with Paul down in the cart.
Well, listen, one of these shows about my family is because it's the biggest new comedy hit since the Ice Age. And on Tuesday, 8, 7 Central Time, it's your chance to join the club. Don't miss the show that critics are saying will revive the sitcom on network TV. Listen to this, guys. Make a mandate, M-A-N date, to watch Caveman Tuesday at 8, 7 Central on ABC. I'm telling you, I ain't making a mandate.
No, but it's almost like going to McGuire's for Thanksgiving, just watching that show. Going to kick. He's just got to get rid of this thing. Texas would love to try to get in and put some pressure and try to block this thing right at the end of the second quarter. And they're coming, and he got it out of there. Not much time to spare, but he hung up a nice kick.
Flag. They hit the kicker.
Flag down. And now the ball is scooped up on the other end by, I think, Kelly. No, it's not Kelly, but Oklahoma is heading down the sideline, and it's Marcus Walker.
I think that's an illegal touching. I don't think that Texas touched the ball, so Oklahoma can't pick it up and run with it.
And the clock has wound down. Time has expired here in the half. We'll wait and see.
That's a defensive penalty, and you can't close the half off on a defensive penalty.
But you think that Oklahoma's going to want to punt this again?
No.
No, but they would get a first down, though. They will get a first down and a free down.
I bet he declines the penalty, goes in the half, has some Gatorade.
That's what I would do.
Unless the ball touched somebody, and it's now Oklahoma's ball way downfield.
Let's hear about it right here with Tom Walker. Tom, straighten all this out for us. He says, just a minute, Brad, I'll get to you.
Running into the kicker by the defense, number 9. Penalties decline. Oklahoma ball. The penalty half is over.
Just like that. Another good call by Mr. Greasy, and another good first half in a big, big football game. The loser's going to be in the basement in the South. The winner's still very much in the national championship hunt. Gretchen Wilson, she's here for the party. So are 80,000. Half in burnt orange, half in crimson and green. College football, ESPN's college football on ABC, brought to you by Best Buy, and it's dead even at halftime. Number 10, Oklahoma 14. Number 19, Texas 14. And partner, this is where you look at it and go, you know, you almost feel sorry for these kids sometimes because the pressure is going to build. There's 30 minutes left. One of these teams is going to the basement in the conference, and they'll be out of the national championship picture. The other one's still in the hunt.
The thing that I'm concerned about is the attrition. It's very hot, and I think both teams are going to have to watch it, especially with their big guys.
Paul, you've been down there the whole first half, still on the cart, and I know you've been drinking your favorite beverage, trying to load up on the carbs there. It's pretty warm.
Yeah, it is, and they've got these machines down here, and these guys are wearing a vest, and when they, you know, they can put cool air into them and kind of bring their temperature up and down. But I'll tell you one thing, when I look at this thing the second half, and I said this in the first half, I think the team that can run the ball the most is the one that's going to win. And I've got a camera stuck right on the top of my head.
I was going to say, there's like
nice
a hot air balloon landing on your head or something down there.
Look at it, here it comes again.
Look, it's a boom, look out.
Hey, that's it, you learn how to duck.
And we don't mean Aflac. So 14-14, both quarterbacks with 2 touchdown passes. Let's check in with Bonnie.
Bob Stoops, you know, you remember Bradford early in the game just started slinging the ball. Thought we were going to see a lot more of that. He said, I think Sam's playing well, but penalties have really put us behind. Now, I asked him, I said, how do you go about covering Jermichael
Finley.
Blanking on his name. Thank you. Jermichael Finley. He said, we've been changing it up. He mentioned, in fact, one time he had one of those big catches. He said, we got 3 guys on him, so what are we supposed to do? Both coaches, though, as Paul said, talked about the importance of getting the run game going. Mack Brown, remember, when we talked to him this week, guys, he said, we abandoned the run too early against K-State. He vowed that will not happen in the second half of this game.
These 2 teams have utilized their tight ends about as well as we've seen anybody do so far this year, and that includes Wisconsin and Travis Beckham, who had a big game last week. Bevo's going to go back and get in his spot. We got 2 quarters left. The Big 12 South in the spotlight here at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. First Obadiah and Cosby are back deep. Here's Hartley's kick. Cosby at about the 10. And Quan got out near the 28-yard line, and that's where they'll go to work first to start the third quarter. Our Pacific Life game summary, you talk about an even score, even total yardage too. Only 1 yard difference between the two teams. 186 for OU, 185 for Texas. Look at the number of plays.
Except the plays, 38-23. Both have three times they've had 3 and outs.
And Bonnie was talking with Coach Stoops about the penalties. Those two on the special teams really killed them because they had a good punt return and they had a good kickoff return, and then they ended up going inside their own 15-yard line.
No turnovers. If you've had the ball, you're either going to punt it or each side has had 2 touchdown passes.
Colt McCoy in the shotgun from the 28. Play action down the middle. Got his man again, and who else? Jermichael Finley. Pick up a 15 more.
They're trying to cover that tight end with a linebacker, and it hasn't worked so far.
No, it hasn't. Jermichael, a sophomore, 6'5", 240.
One more thing that Mack said to me, Brad, worth bringing up. I asked him how the simplification process has really helped McCoy. He said last week against State, he really thought the Colts struggled against the blitz. First half, he saw him open it up, get some good passes against the blitz, so he's really pleased with that part of the game.
Including that one for the touchdown that he just snapped off his wrists. This time he's going to have to scramble to try to find somebody to throw to, and lofts it to the sideline, incomplete. The stats leaders for Texas, as you might guess, Colt McCoy running the show, as Bob said at the beginning of the game, was part of the game plan, and he did it pretty well.
Here's our drive chart. 2 touchdowns. Texas, like I said, the rest of the time they punted the football.
2 plays, big play, and a hurry up. 61 yards in just 2 plays for a touchdown. McCoy has hit his last 7 passes and is 9 out of 12. 181 yards and 2 touchdowns. They cannot get anything going on the ground. Jamal Charles hasn't been able to escape, but Finley's had a huge game, as you saw.
Leading receiver, tight end.
Just when I say Jamal Charles can't get anything, he got about 5 anyway.
You've got to try to run. You've got to. You know, Mack said we're going to come out and continue to try to run. We abandoned it too early last week. You know, if a quarterback, especially a young quarterback, has it all on his shoulders to move the offense, that just won't fly. You've got to try draws and ways to get the running game going.
Obadiah with McCoy in the shotgun on 3rd down. Down the middle, nice catch, stretched out. Nate Jones, first down Texas. Nate Jones has been quiet, but on 3rd and 4, Colt McCoy sets in there and throws it 7 yards for a first down. And Mack Brown talks about how his quarterback has matured this year.
He's handling adversity so much better right now. We're inexperienced in some spots, so we haven't protected him as well. And he's seeing a lot of different looks, and we've probably put too much on his shoulders because our team hasn't been as consistent as we want to, and he hasn't batted an eye.
Coming off his worst game probably ever with 4 picks last week. Today he's played brilliantly, as has Bradford on the other side. McCoy down the middle again. On the run is Irby, the tight end. And boy, they are tight ending Oklahoma to death.
They're throwing inside. They're not throwing the ball outside versus the corners where they're doubling. They're throwing the ball inside. Right here, 2 tight ends. Now we're going to go to the tight end on the left side. Right up the seam. That's just good planning.
And he had Lewis Baker, number 16. Bob, as you talked about in the first half, a linebacker trying to cover the tight end in the middle of the field. He just can't get there.
Give Greg Davis, the offensive coordinator, a lot of credit.
5 catches for the tight ends for 175.
Yeah. 2 tight ends again.
Back in the red zone for Texas. Looks like somebody jumped early one way or the other, and the play doesn't go anywhere anyway with Jamal Charles. See if Texas fell into the neutral zone or if it was OU moving first.
Oklahoma offside.
Offside on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
So there's a free 5, and 1st and 5 now inside the 15-yard line.
The reason that these are dumb penalties, now you're inside the 20-yard line, but they're dumb penalties because, I mean, you're in a first down situation. They're going in to score, and you're trying to anticipate instead of just watching the guy in front of you.
So look at Greg Davis in the Texas booth over about 3 booths to our right. 1st and 5. Charles tripped up, got maybe to the 11-yard line as we're the first couple of minutes of the 3rd quarter. What kind of adjustments, Grease, are we looking at?
Well, I think for Oklahoma, they got to play better defensively against the pass, and as we've seen that in this first drive. Texas has got to keep players fresh. Their offensive line is going to get tired, and the guys behind them are all redshirt freshmen or true freshmen.
And right now we have bright sunshine, which is added to the temperature and the humidity. Charles met in the hole as he got, it appears, a 1st down. Ryan Reynolds made the stop.
Yes, one of the things that are happening here when you say, I've said before, the team that can run the ball is the team that's going to win. Okay, now you got Jamal Charles running the ball. He has run the ball between the 2 guards the entire time. And what's happening is that they're playing for the run, basically to shut the run down. So you've got 2 linebackers in the middle sitting in there, and he's taking a pounding. Let the guy, he's got great speed. Let him get to the outside.
He stays in there at the tailback behind Antoine Cobb, the fullback, on the 8th play of the Texas drive. It's 1st and goal for the Longhorns, trying to regain the lead. McCoy expecting a blitz, and flag down.
Delay a game on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
He was looking over there at Lewis Baker and thinking that he was coming, and just when he pointed to kind of tell his troops, here it comes, that took too long.
Yep.
That's the 4th pre-snap penalty against Texas. There's what Colt McCoy can look up
now
at.
That's in the end zone. You have him on both sides. Now when he walks up to the line of scrimmage, that's one of the things that he's checking out right now, is how much time do I have left on those clocks.
Now he's in the gun as they're backed up to the 13-yard line. Here's a draw play. Jamal Charles inside the 5. Touchdown.
Dropped it.
He dropped it. Oklahoma's got it. Gerald McCoy.
Gerald McCoy, I tell you, fell on the ball, but this ball was stripped.
Yes. I think it was Reynolds.
What a huge play by the Oklahoma defense.
I'm going to tell you one thing. When you take a look at this, one of the biggest holes that they've had all day long. And just take a look on the outside. This ball is knocked out by Reed. No, excuse me, by Lofton.
Great play by Lofton.
That's just not protecting the ball. And how many times have you said that? The most important thing you have to do is protect that ball.
At the 4-yard line, Oklahoma takes over. Now they try to establish a ground game, and that's going nowhere. Alan Patrick wrapped up by Loki.
We played the entire first half without a fumble or an interception. And on the first drive of the second half, when a back is going for a touchdown, a rushing touchdown, a linebacker comes in and makes a great play. That's just great. Charles never saw him. Came up from behind.
And Charles, as he went down, had he still had the football, it was going to be in the end zone, and that's what I thought, because I didn't see the ball come out.
That's Alan Patrick, who's the running back for Oklahoma, is down.
And he hasn't moved since that last carry where he was wrapped up for a loss of a couple. Hopefully he's going to be all right. We'll check on him as we take a timeout with 10:29 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Here of Texas in Dallas, and the Cotton Bowl, where Oklahoma's in its own end zone with Sam Bradford looking to throw. And he completes it out. 1st down throw out to Iglesias. Boy, when they need a 1st down, he's looking for number 9.
Well, I can't tell you how much confidence that shows in this young freshman quarterback. This is his 6th game he's playing for the Sooners, and to throw out of your own end zone against Texas, a little rollout, which helps him. You get to see more things. Just find a receiver and get him the ball.
You saw Patrick on the sideline after being on the ground. It appeared it was a cramp situation, and now Patrick's going off too. And again, the heat is taking its toll already, and we got a long ways to go. Murray. And Murray got it out to the 24, maybe the 25-yard line.
This is the second time, Brad, I've actually seen Malcolm Kelly leave the field. He's got a major hamstring cramp. I'm starting to see a lot of the players on the sideline gulping down the Gatorade. You know the coaches have preached all week the importance of drinking the water and staying hydrated. This is really the first time the sun has been out in force today. And let me tell you, it's not a peach down here.
Oh, boy, you got that right, Bonnie. At least you're not wearing a tie and a long-sleeve shirt.
Thanks.
Second down and 3. Murray, first down on the extra effort.
But Ness, you know the thing about both of these teams, they're used to being in this type of weather.
That's true. Don't forget, coming up tonight, big one in the Big Ten as Ohio State and Purdue match undefeated records. Some of you will see Notre Dame and UCLA. Saturday Night Football presented by Southwest Airlines. Ohio State, Purdue, Notre Dame, UCLA, 8 Eastern on ABC and HTC HD. And the sun is out brightly now. And you can see those fans and those mist machines are working overtime. Chris Brown comes back in to the OU backfield, flanking Bradford, who wants to throw the quick slant and does, completes it to Johnson. And Johnson's got another first down for Oklahoma. The Sooners are digging their way out of the hole after recovering the fumble little by little. And they've worked it out to the 40-yard line.
Brad, let me tell you something. Bradford is getting protection now. And Bob, you're so right. I mean, these guys on defense are really wearing down. They just can't keep up the pressure because they're fighting the big offensive linemen of Oklahoma. And all Bradford's doing is just sitting back there and he's picking out the receivers. I mean, they're changing the wide receivers up.
At the 40 now, the tight end, Eldridge in motion. Brown going wide. Got about 3.
Just going to say, Brad, that Gresham, the backup tight end for Oklahoma, has the 2 touchdown receptions. But it's the defensive linemen, the guys that have to create and make the effort, that it's going to wear down first.
You know, the Oklahoma staff was so impressed with the 2 tackles, Frank Okam and Derek Lokey, 2 of the captains, and they've been around and played a lot of football. But that offensive line, Duke Robinson and Cooper and Walker and Braxton and Lode Holt and Williams, all those guys are doing a heck of a job, as Paul said, keeping Bradford untouched. Harder to do on the ground game, though. That has been tough for both teams. Let's check in with. All right, Matt, here it's 3rd down and 8. Oklahoma trying to keep a drive alive that started way back at their own 5-yard line. Bradford out to Murray. Murray got a block. Whoa, there came the football all the way out to the Texas bench. That thing looked like a bar of soap in a bathtub.
I'm standing here. I'm sitting here, and I'm telling you something, Brad. When all of a sudden you think the play's over, and it's like a rocket shot out. I mean, it really is funny. Watch this thing. Watch it come out. Now, there's a great block. He gets downfield. Helmet on the ball, and the ball's gone.
That's on Murray, the running back. He needs to protect that ball and pull it in and not let the defender hit it cleanly.
That ball landed at least 10 yards down the sideline. Cohen to punt. Texas with a return on. Cosby will camp under it at the 20. Quan Cosby.
You got a flag.
Down at the 22 as he goes down at the 32. And now another flag flies in way at the end of the play.
It's almost like everybody had to throw their hanky.
We might have 2 different penalties. That one was so late. Penalties on special teams all day long.
You know, that's just being tired. It really is, and not paying attention, because these are dumb penalties. And you know, it's obvious every time you see a guy with his number and his name, don't hit it.
Number 23 in the return team. Decline. During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 14. That penalty is accepted.
So there was 2 penalties.
To the goal. First down.
There was indeed 2 penalties. There's one. We know that. There was another one later. Either way, the Longhorns have the ball on offense when we come back. With that again. Oklahoma, by the way, won the game. Final was 20-6. Here it's 14-14. Charles going wide, collared, and brought down by Nick Harris as he crossed the 20-yard line. Antoine Cobb, the fullback, got a nice block on
Brad,
Charles' run.
You go back to that last possession that Oklahoma had. Remember where they started? Remember the fumble way back
inside the 5.
Inside the 5-yard line. Well, they didn't score on it, but they got the ball out. Then they punted, and then they got the penalty. So now field position
shifted.
Instead of being backed up, they're all the way back down inside the other 20-yard line.
Wow, there is some hitting going on in the ground game, or lack of. Reggie Smith and Curtis Lofton made the stop. Now some rides going on outside with us. There's going to be some rides going on tomorrow in Talladega. They got the standings all shuffled up in the NASCAR Nextel Cup, and we'll see what goes on tomorrow. 1 o'clock Eastern starts with NASCAR Countdown right here on ABC. I wouldn't get in that slingshot thing over there on the left. I don't know. I was trying to get Bob and Paul in that, but no.
No way.
No way. Andrell McGee in the lineup for the first time today.
I'm going to tell you what, he didn't make it. And he didn't make it by a yard. He just hit the middle of that line and just stopped dead.
And
it's
so
fourth
now
down.
Texas is going to have to give it up. As Bob said, that shift in field position was huge because now Oklahoma's going to get it back and they'll get good field position.
Watch this. Bam. Now he stops. That's it. There's no more leg drive. They've got him by the legs. That's English that has his legs, so he can't move them.
Brent Venables, defensive coordinator, associate head coach, one of the fine assistant coaches, and it'll be a head coach someday, you can bet. We're under 5 minutes. Texas has to give it up. After the 3 and out, Justin Moore will punt. Get it a mile into the Dallas skyline. And it's fielded by Reggie Smith on the fair catch at the 35. So Oklahoma won the battle of field position there. They've got a good spot to start now. They're tied up with the Longhorns. So the Sooners have a first down at the 35-yard line with 4:33 remaining in the third quarter. Tie game. Both Bradford, number 14, and Colt McCoy of Texas have 2 touchdown passes, all in the first half. Scoreless third quarter so far. Murray hurdles a man. Murray, one man to beat down the sideline.
He's got speed.
DeMarco Murray is gone. Touchdown, Oklahoma.
The first team that runs the ball very well will win the football game. That's an echo. Hey, Grace, I love it when you said he's got speed. Does he have speed or what?
"65 yards for the Oklahoma touchdown, and their fans have been awakened. Longest play allowed by Texas from scrimmage this year. And the extra point by Hartley is good. DeMarco Murray redshirted last year.
Could be a missed tackle. The linebacker Bobineau right there dives through and then jumps over one of his own linemen.
And then it's 4-4 and goodbye.
And good night.
The fastest player on Oklahoma's team just took it the distance.
You see right there, Bobineau, the middle linebacker, has that whole responsibility, and he got there, but he got there a little bit late because of the speed of Murray.
It must be a sick feeling when you're running after a guy and you just know in your heart you cannot catch him.
DeMarco Murray, who had a big game early this season when he was a starter with Patrick out with the injury, his 10th score of the year. And he has just given Oklahoma, the 10th ranked team in the country, the lead back in dramatic fashion.
Well, they went from Adrian Peterson to Alan Patrick. The next guy in line is Murray.
Cosby from the 3. Broken tackle, Quan Cosby, and across the 30 to the 31-yard line is. We're going to check in with Bonnie. I guess we got a weather system moving in, Bonnie.
Yeah, I was going to say the Sooner crowd exploded, but there's going to be some noise coming in here in the not too distant future. Doug Wilson, the Texas assistant AD, was just out on the field a few minutes ago talking to the officials about the impending weather. We've got a storm cell. I don't know, James, if you can zoom in on this little map. There's a storm cell about 25 miles south of where the Cotton Bowl is. It's moving pretty rapidly. What officials are worried about is that there's lightning in this storm cell, and if the lightning continues to increase, then they're going to have to take the players off the field. So I see these clouds coming in pretty quickly from the south, Brad, and we're going to keep tabs on this, obviously.
Yeah, we went from bright sunshine to overcast to big-time clouds. The clouds hanging over Texas right now. They trail by a touchdown. McCoy stands in. Colt zips it down the middle of the field and is complete. First down across the 45 to Nate Jones.
I'm going to tell you what, here's another example of great protection by the offensive line. McCoy had all day, and the only guy that he was looking at was Jones. He waited and waited. Watch him wait. And look at the blocking in front of him. Here's play action pass. Now watch, he's waiting. He's looking for one man and one man only. And when he finally breaks across the middle, there is the ball. That's perfect.
Look at the yardage. Equal in the first half, completely equal in the second half. Wow. The play by Murray, the difference so far. Shipley on a wide out screen picked up about 3 near midfield out to the 49-yard line. These two teams came in 4-1, both of them. And did you know, in BCS history, a team with 1 loss has played in 6 of the 9 BCS title games. So there is very much hope around whichever program survives this, be it Mack Brown's team or Bob Stoops on the other side. And of course, trying to stay in the thick of things, first of all in the Big 12 South, then the Big 12 overall picture, and then the national scene. That's what it's all about here in the next 20 minutes. Draw play, Charles. Jamal got near the 45-yard line, about a yard shy of the first down. You start talking about clearing the road for Oklahoma or Texas. Things are going to get shaken up because LSU is home to Florida today. USF and Rutgers. Talk about Boston College playing so well against Virginia Tech. Ohio State and Wisconsin on November 3rd, although Wisconsin won't be that highly ranked. And USC and Cal on November 10th. So a lot of stuff's going to happen. And there's going to be a lot of shaking going on, as Jerry Lee Lewis would say, in the standings, the rankings, and the conference standings before we're all done.
Just because you've lost a game, don't lose faith in your team, because you know, who do you think are the best 1-loss teams that have a chance to get to the BCS championship game?
Well, the defending national champs, you got to put them in there, I guess, depending on what goes on in Baton Rouge tonight.
Florida.
Yep.
How about Oklahoma?
I think Oklahoma fans would agree. So would the Longhorn fans. Yeah.
Whatever team wins this one.
Well, Oklahoma looked indestructible in the first 4 weeks of the season, and then came the shocker last week when they had a big lead. They were probably 1 play away from putting Colorado away, a near miss on a touchdown pass, and then the final kick that ended their hopes of being undefeated coming into this one. McCoy in trouble after just picking up the first down, and this time he gets back near the line of scrimmage before Alonzo Dotson brought him down.
First down, they were going for the home run, and they just didn't have time to wait for it to develop.
Well, they were trying to get the ball to Swede right down here on the bottom, Bob, number 4, and McCoy's waiting for him, but he never does get open. He goes actually across the middle into the other side, and there was no chance. And then Dotson, number 91, makes the tackle.
So it's going to be 2nd down at 10, final minute and a half of the 3rd quarter. The fans are even hot. You can tell they have these places where they take a big deep breath and then they go, let's go after it again. And they're coming after Colt McCoy. It throws to Jones, and Jones collared from behind and thrown forward. Actually, he almost got a first down when Gerald McCoy made the stop. He got 9. Well, it's Tuesday's newest comedy hit about 4 guys who do it in the diamond lane. United they drive, divided they stall. And they want to make a mandate with Paul and share a ride with carpoolers. Tuesday at 8:30, 7:30 Central on ABC. Start here. Always love the bumper cars. Except just when you were about ready to hit somebody you really wanted to hit, the thing shut down. And it's like several more tickets later.
Loki is playing fullback, number 96. Watch this.
With McGee behind him. Play action bootleg, man wide open, caught. Obadiah going all the way down inside the 10-yard line.
Great call. Really a good call because, as Paul said, Loki was in the backfield, and normally Loki will take you to the play. And they faked it to the left side, got him outside. Good call. He's going to fake it this way and then come back out to our left side.
Great sales job by McCoy. And Obadiah streaking down the sideline.
Came behind the line of scrimmage. Obadiah was lined up on left and snuck behind and got out in the flat.
First and goal, Longhorns at the Oklahoma 6. McCoy, inside handoff, Jamal Charles, down to the 1. They've used that little trap play, misdirection, a couple times, and it's worked pretty effectively because the hole opened up for him, and he got it down to the 1-yard line.
I tell you what, see the guy come to a screeching halt. Charles, he gets hit by Lofton and Harris. Now, Nick Harris is a safety, but he's 6'3", 232 pounds, and he will lay you out.
You know what? Texas would love to try to score a touchdown on that end because it's all burnt orange. They're going the other way, and they're going to meet some unhappy Crimson and Cream fans because the quarter comes to a close. We've played 3. They've done it 102 times. We got a quarter left. Who's going to win it? The Red River rivalry resumes in Dallas after this quick timeout.
You're watching ESPN on ABC. College football lives here.
Half man.
Used to hurt a lot. Now it just itches. Oh, yeah, that feels good. Oh, thank you very much.
Half man, half amazing, huh? Texas trying to be illusion man here to the Oklahoma defense at the 1-yard line. McGee touchdown, untouched. Vondrell McGee from a yard out. Extra point away from another tie game. 70-yard drive in 9 plays. Texas has the answer to what DeMarco Murray did and used about 4.5 minutes to get there. Brian Bailey, important extra point, is right down the middle. So the first play of the 4th quarter is another big play for the Texas Longhorns. Nice blocking off the left side. And Vondrell McGee coming right at you. You're going to see it open up, and he sneaks through.
Harris just took a dive in front of Loki, the big defensive lineman that was in there blocking the fullback.
So happy times for the Longhorn band and their faithful. And I thought maybe the Sooner fans would give the Longhorn offense a little bit of trouble down in that end, but they had the quick snap coming out of the timeout and the quarter break, and it didn't bother them at all. So we've gone 3 quarters in 1 play. And Grease, we got a good one going on here.
I love it. The offenses are playing well. The 2 young quarterbacks are doing their thing, not throwing the ball to the other side. I'm impressed. I really am.
There's been some big plays by both teams in the first half, and then here in the 3rd quarter, Murray, a 65-yard touchdown run. And then Colt McCoy looking so sharp. He hit his last 6 passes. He's 15 out of 18, and he got him down close, and McGee did the rest. 21-21. Kick. Oh, better hurry up and make a decision. And oh, that was not a good decision. Murray was hoping and praying it would get to the end zone or out of bounds. It got to neither.
It looked like it might get out of bounds, and then he just couldn't wait any longer.
Well, Paul, that's another mistake on not-so-special teams for Oklahoma.
Yeah, you know what? Didn't the X Factor, Bob, come up with this thing about the special teams and where you make a mistake? And in special teams, as we know, and you play a 12-game schedule, they're going to win or lose 3 times. I'm impressed with everything else they've done so far today except special teams. Why they're making such big mistakes on this? I mean, they work on this every day of the week.
Paul looks like he's on a tilt-a-whirl down there.
He was on a ride.
First down, Oklahoma. Here comes a blitz. Oh, what a collision in the hole. Murray, Frank Okam, said hello.
Frank Okam, he's not your normal defensive tackle.
6'5", 320.
4.0. He speaks French, likes to cook, plays chess, and has taken the LSATs. He thinks maybe I want to be a lawyer.
That's not a bad combination, huh?
No, he and Loki right next to him.
I'd listen to him in court at 6'5", 320. In the gun. Bradford rolling to throw. Completes it out to Kelly. Kelly's tattooed out of bounds at about the 13-yard line. Frank Okam, he's from Dallas. He knows what the fair is about here.
The thing that I always enjoyed growing up, obviously I'm a big guy, is the food. And they have a variety of foods, whether it's now coming out with stuff like fried Oreos and fried Snickers, but I usually stick to the traditional corny dogs, turkey legs, funnel cakes with strawberries on top. Can't get much better than that, in my opinion.
That's just the conventional stuff.
Yeah.
The funnel cakes and the corny dogs and all that new wave stuff with the Oreos and the Snickers he's not sure about.
That's what this game means to him.
That's right. Third down, a big one for Oklahoma. 3rd and 2. And here come the Longhorns on the blitz. Bradford lets go. Got it. Complete. Out to Iglesias. First down, Oklahoma.
Can I just say one thing about just the corny dog deal? We got the champion producer of all of television leading corny dog eating.
He is, we think, the champion. We had a count, and we had an over-under bet with most of us as to Bob Goodrich's intake of corny dogs and all the other fried stuff that went along with it. He had 2 today, we understand, and that was at lunchtime.
There's your corny dog.
You got to doctor him up with a mustard like that.
Yeah, that's a
and we'll give you the corny dog count here in just a minute for Bob. Here's a toss to Brown. Brown maybe got to the 20-yard line, and that's about it. So what we understand is that there may have been a single-day record for our producer, but maybe not an overall
weekend
record, because apparently the count is up to 14. 14. Oh, they're updating it. That's why they had it. They had it all. There it is. 2 at halftime. That's what they had to build it in. There's Bob, the SMU great. And the single-day record, we think Friday with 7 was something special, including one at our production meeting. That's amazing.
2 at halftime.
I couldn't eat 7 of those things in a year.
No, I couldn't either. But I could have one a year.
Oh, yeah. And it's here where we have it. Nice throw. Bradford out to Iglesias again. And now it's Iglesias and Bradford playing pitch and catch, trying to get Oklahoma a little bit of room to work. Remember, they started this thing at their own 6-yard line.
Well, they're just throwing those 5- and 10-yard outs over there. And remember early in the game when Oklahoma threw all those long takeoffs over there on Palmer?
Yep.
Well, he's got that in the back of his mind. So he's playing a little loose over there, and they're just hitting everything in front of him.
And if he bites over there, it might be an out and up, and it might be over.
Yeah. Well, you got both tight ends are in now, Finley and Gresham.
3 of them actually, with Eldridge joining the crew. And that's Finley in motion. Brown to the 30. That's a gain of about 2. We're closing in on 13 minutes. Tie game, 10th ranked Oklahoma. Number 19 Texas. No team that started 0-2 in conference play has ever won the Big 12 South, much less the Big 12 title or stayed in the national championship picture. So this next 13 minutes is of the utmost importance. And everybody in this building knows it.
Well, the bottom line is the team that loses is out of everything, and the team that wins is back into everything, even a national championship.
Play action. Bradford got a deep out. It's going to be wide open at the 40. It's Iglesias again, and he's to midfield. Boy, there was nobody home over there, and Bradford has hit his last 9 passes, Bob and Paul and Bonnie.
Well, you know, they had both guys, Malcolm Kelly and Iglesias, on the same side. But Iglesias was sitting in the slot. And watch when Kelly, at the bottom of the screen, when he goes downfield, I mean, it's just incredible how that whole thing clears out. Watch this. It'll clear out, and then here comes Iglesias inside. Look at, there's not a burnt orange shirt in the building.
Right at the midfield stripe, Oklahoma with a ball and a first down. Bradford again, play action, nobody near him. Goes out in the flat to Murray, who came out of the backfield. Murray got about 3.
You got a flag over here, Brad.
Right in front of Paul at the 50.
I'm going to catch one of these when they throw it up in the air. It's kind of neat.
This one thrown right at the line of scrimmage. Might be one of those situations where receiver wasn't covered up.
There's no foul on the play.
Or no foul.
Second down.
And Grease,
we'll
can
go
I
with the
tell
no
you?
foul.
Watch the receiver at the top. See what happens. He's not even looking at the play.
Yeah, he's looking at the sideline saying, what is the play? He almost called a timeout over there. He was trying to call timeout, Malcolm Kelly.
You know, Grease, they're doing exactly what you said that Texas is anyway. What you said that they're interchanging their defensive line and linebackers all the time.
Ninth play coming up on this Oklahoma drive. Bradford across the middle. Let's see where they're going to spot DeMarco Murray. He kind of cartwheeled as he was tackled. Looks like he's about a foot short of the first down.
And let me tell you what, this should be a first down because Murray was not down. He rolled over another man before his knees hit the ground. He was on the other side of the 40 and should have been on the 39-yard line.
They have spotted it shaded outside the 40. First down. They started at their own 6. They've worked to the Longhorn 40. Murray again, who had a 65-yarder earlier. And nice open field tackle that time by Eric Jackson. Let's check in with Bonnie.
Watching Bradford throughout the day, Brad, it's so evident how as a freshman he has earned this team's trust. The way he commands the huddle, the way he interacts with his receivers on the sideline in between series. And when I was talking to Malcolm Kelly during the week, I said, what did you see in him? And he talked about the calm pocket presence. He said, so many young quarterbacks come in and they're all rattled and bug-eyed in the huddle, and then when you're in 3rd and long, they don't know what to do. He said he threw me a couple out routes in the fall, and I said, this guy, we don't need to worry about him at all.
Well, he's had some sensational games. This is another one. He had one stretch where he went 22 straight completions without an interception. This time he throws it out, and his receiver just dropped the ball. Quentin Chaney was thinking about where he was heading and didn't take the football with him. That stops a string of 10 straight completions by Bradford. Monday Night Football on ESPN. As the undefeated Dallas Cowboys trying to keep on rolling in Buffalo against the Bills. Cowboys 4-0. First time since '95. Monday Night Football on ESPN. 8:30 Eastern. Coverage starts at 7 Eastern with Monday Night Countdown delivered by UPS.
When I come to Dallas, I think of Roger Staubach.
Yep.
Maybe Troy Aikman, All-Pro.
Sure.
Made the Hall of Fame. UCLA All-American. Where did Troy Aikman play his first year of football?
Oklahoma. Look out, Sam Bradford. Let it go. He's got a man. Kelly has got it. Touchdown, Sooners. You know, that calm presence that Bonnie just talked about? He knew he could feel the heat coming from the backside, but his guy was open and he was going to take the shot for the team, and he just threw another 35-yard touchdown pass. Hartley. It's 28-21 Sooners. What a drive. 94 yards in 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Grease, this is a capper.
Kelly just slides by the two guys. Jackson, number 21, doesn't get, but look at this. Beasley, a second later, and he would have had him. Sometimes those quarterbacks can just sense that.
(28-21) Oklahoma. 10:42 remaining. Mack Brown's Longhorns have to answer the call now after Sam Bradford just lit up his third touchdown on a brilliant passing day for the Sooner quarterback. And Colt McCoy for Texas has been equally as brilliant, but they're going to need more of his brilliance now in this next drive. Hartley to kick. Cosby and Obadiah are back deep for the Longhorns. Quan Cosby will take this at the 10-yard line. A hurdle by Cosby at the 35, the 40. Nice return. Bumped out of bounds at the 41. That's where Texas will start after we check in with.
Told they'll start playing again about 6:40 or so.
All right, so weather problems in more than one city. We're trying to avoid it here in the next 10 minutes in Dallas. McCoy in the gun from the 41. Play action. Colt goes down the middle. Great catch inside the 45 by Quan Cosby. 15-yard pickup, first down, Texas. Our Pacific Life game summary. If you have not joined us, you have missed a gem so far, including the performance by Sam Bradford, Oklahoma's quarterback, 20 of 29, 3 touchdown passes, including that one to Malcolm Kelly moments ago that has given him the lead. But Colt McCoy has done likewise. 2 touchdowns for him today, 15 of 18, and he just threw another perfect pass to Cosby for a first down at the OU 44-yard line. McCoy buys himself some time. It's intercepted. Tip pass, and Reggie Smith's got it. Going the other way. Smith's got great speed and a blocker in front. Reggie Smith. Colt McCoy saves a touchdown.
We have a flag on a play, but I don't know who that's. But it was a great block downfield.
A tip pass. McCoy flushed from the pocket, throwing back across his body, aiming it at Jamal Charles, who got a hand on it. And then Reggie Smith did the honors going the other way.
He had 4 interceptions.
Illegal block below the waist. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Excuse me, Brad. I was just going to say last week in the loss to Kansas State, Colt had 4 interceptions, but 3 of them were tipped balls also. He does a nice job scrambling, moving around, finding an open receiver.
Might have been catchable by Charles. It looked like Jamal almost mistimed his jump a little bit and then tipped off his fingertips, and Reggie Smith going the other way for Oklahoma.
If you're a receiver, you never want to tip the ball up into the air. If you can't catch it, make sure you knock it down or bring it down with you.
Texas got a little bit of a break in that with that chop block on the return. The Sooners have to back it up to their own 46, but they've got the ball back, the lead, and just under 10 minutes to play. Murray. And Murray got to midfield.
Hey, you know, Brad Murray looks like the only guy on this field that doesn't look like he's tired. he just keeps trudging along. And this guy, well, we do have a guy down.
I think it's Frank Ocam who was helping out on the stop, but we'll check and make sure and check on his availability to return when we come back. That's a Texas Skyway, new this year at the Texas State Fair. Texas Skyway offers visitors bird's eye and panoramic views of the historic Fair Park. At full occupancy, the Texas Skyway has a capacity of more than 5,000 riders an hour. That's a great view of what's going on below. We don't like the view that we have below because the emergency cart has come out for Aaron Lewis. It was not Frank Ocam. Aaron Lewis, who was injured on the previous play before the timeout, and they have already had an inflatable cast put on his left arm or elbow. So it's one of those where you automatically know, the trainers anyway, knew that either a break or a dislocation of some part of his left arms occurred, and they were immediately out there. We wish Aaron a speedy recovery and return. You see him holding on to his left arm or elbow. The junior defensive end out of Albuquerque, 6'4", 265, has played a big-time game today. He was involved in that last tackle and maybe just got his arm out there trying to make an arm tackle, could be, or just maybe got tangled up in the pile. We don't know, but that's what you like to see is when the Sooner fans are cheering for the Texas players, when it isn't always like that for everything, but they know these kids give their all in this rivalry, and they're appreciative of everybody hopefully staying healthy, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case with Aaron.
You know, Brad, I'm surprised that we don't see that type of injury more often because all these guys are always sticking their arm out to try and trip up or tackle. Make an arm tackle against a bigger guy than your arm can bring down.
Second down, meanwhile, at the 50-yard line. 2nd and 6 Sooners. They've got the lead, the ball. And DeMarco Murray. Murray flags down. He might be gone. Down the sideline, tiptoes all the way to about the 11 or 12, but again, a penalty marker right at midfield. You would assume it's going to be a holding call that will bring things back, but we'll wait and see.
It's coming back.
See the look on Bob Stoops' face.
Holding on the offense, number 72. 10-yard penalty Repeat second down.
Well, we've got the timeout. Let's see Sam Bradford on there, too. 3 touchdown passes today in this one with 9:26 remaining. Bradford in the gun at the 40-yard line. Firing incomplete. This time his receiver went one way. The pass went the other. Time permitting, a reminder after the game, John, Craig, and Doug will be in New York and bring you the Dell postgame report with all the scores and highlights of the day. Was thinking about looking over at Bob Stoops on the sideline, the Youngstown, Ohio native. And a big part of his week, despite the fact that his team lost to Colorado, he couldn't have been more excited for Kelly Pavlik, who last Saturday night won the undisputed middleweight championship of the world and a knockout of Jermaine Taylor. Those Youngstown's guys stick together, don't they, Grease?
Yeah. You got it.
McGuire knows that.
Yeah.
That's my home, boys.
3rd down and 16. Pressure coming. Bradford down the middle. In and out of the hands and then almost intercepted. Manuel Johnson was the intended receiver. Marcus Griffin almost got that pop ball in the air. So Texas is going to get it back. That's what they had to do. Remember, the penalty on the interception return by Reggie Smith was big because it put Oklahoma back in their own territory. And now just that close for Oklahoma. And they're going to have to give it up instead. So Texas gets their chance. They got a lot of time left and they have all their timeouts. Michael Cohen now to punt. High snap. Cosby's trying to get everybody out of the way, and it almost hit Jared Norton, but he did get out of the way in time, and the ball rolls to a stop at the 20-yard line. Well, it's on number 12's shoulders. It's always that way, isn't it? Colt McCoy's got his chance. His team's down a touchdown. Hang around. We'll see how it goes. And to think that these two young guys have at least 2 more years to battle each other in this rivalry. Look at those numbers. Now Colt McCoy's got his chance to get his club back even. Charles got about 4. Lindy Holmes made the stop. We're under 9 minutes remaining. Texas trailing by a touchdown as we take a look at our Best Buy playbook. Robert?
Yeah, one of the plays I liked earlier in the ball game. Texas ran it. Let's keep an eye on the running back, the guy that's moving right here. Watch him. He's going to motion this way, and then he's going to motion back, slide behind the line of scrimmage. Keep your eye on him. Now watch, as a fake comes to the left, he slides behind them to the right, sneaks out into the flat where he completes the pass and runs for a long gain.
That set Texas up with a 1st and goal, that play. Here's a guy that's been almost shut out today. Limas Sweed picks up 14. He's their big play wide receiver, but so many teams have either double covered him or had a cover 2 type of defense that's taken him out of the offense, and that's why Nate Jones has caught more balls and Iglesias has caught more balls.
Now, you know, the Texas have kind of had their way with the pass protection the last few series and completing passes. I want to see if Oklahoma is going to come with a blitz, some of the outside guys from the corner, and see how Texas might handle that.
1st down, Longhorns from the 38. The out. Incomplete. Reggie Smith over there. Now the flag comes in late. Look at the coaches on the Oklahoma sideline, including Bob Stoops, who's leading the way.
I'll tell you what they're looking at is Reggie Smith putting his right arm in on the back of the receiver.
Pass interference on the defense, number 3. The penalty, the 1st down at the spot of the foul. Push down.
All right, you're going to see it here. Just take a look at the end. Look at Reggie Smith, number 3. Now watch his right arm. He goes, but I'm going to tell you what, not only his arm, but his whole body. He goes through the receiver, and you can't do that.
And Stoops, he was right there, too, looking at it.
Gives Texas a 1st down as they're almost to midfield.
I think that's what Steve Spurrier used to call Bob when he was with Florida, Stoopsy.
A lot of people do. At the 49. McCoy pump fakes, and now he's going to get smothered by Austin English. English showing great speed coming off that edge.
You don't think English has got some speed?
Uh-oh, now McCoy's shaking up. Texas can't afford to lose him.
Boy, I'll tell you one thing, Grease, you're absolutely right. They were coming right at us, and McCoy never really sees him. And Austin English comes all the way from the other side of the field to make this sack. And this is McCoy's fault because he should have gotten rid of the ball.
So they're backed up to the 46. And the Sooner Nation's getting loud for their defense.
And how strong is McCoy right now?
Exactly. Here's that counter play. But it only got a couple yards for Obanaya. Ryan Reynolds says take you back one more play. English coming from behind. And Collard. And it may have been a situation of really just getting the wind knocked out of him. I don't know, by Colt McCoy. He got landed on pretty good.
Yeah,
and then was woozy getting up.
Yeah, I just think he's exhausted from the day.
Well, he's out there cutting it out. He might look like Opie Taylor, but he don't play like him.
They're going with 3 down linemen, and that's all for Oklahoma.
Yeah, but they're going to bring some guys off the edge.
Whoa, they brought some guys from up the middle a little too early.
That's McCoy, and that's dumb.
That's going to help the cause for Texas because it's going to be 3rd down and 6 instead of 11.
Offside on the defense, number 93. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
You know, there's really no reason for him to do that. You've got a 3-man rush. You've got him 3rd down and 11, almost 12 yards. And you're going to try to jump the center and guard in a 3-man rush? Crazy.
For those of you that have tuned in expecting the ACC game between NC State and Florida State, it's in the lightning delay. We welcome you to the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. This is number 10 Oklahoma and number 19 Texas. Brad Nessler, Bob Greasy, Paul McGuire, and Bonnie Bernstein. We're down to 3rd down and 6 for Texas with 6.5 minutes to go, and they trail by a touchdown.
Watch a guy on the outside.
Flags fly.
They got movement. Now the ball goes back. Here's the other 5 back.
Number 67.
Boy, again, a pre-snap 5-yard penalty.
Still
The
3rd
5th
down.
one against Mack Brown's team. That's going to drive Mack crazy. You know that.
And that was on the center.
Dallas Griffin may have double pumped, double clutched the snap a little bit. And so it does, as Paul said, go back to the original line of scrimmage. And 3rd down and 11 again.
We've had a lot of penalties in this ball game.
It didn't start out that way. McCoy flushed from that side and now going long for Swede. Lima Swede broken up by Reggie Smith.
Man, I'm going to tell you something. Reggie Smith, you talk about a guy covering some ground and playing the ball. This was absolutely perfect defense because Lima Swede looked like he had him beat. Watch this play by number 3. Reggie Smith, watch him time this thing just at the last second up. Man, I tell you what, Limas had his hands on it.
And now Reggie will stay in there as a punt return man as Justin Moore comes on to kick. And now you start to wonder, will the Longhorns ever get their hands back on the football? They're down a touchdown. We're under 6 minutes.
A lot of time to play left, Brad.
And Texas will down it just inside the 10-yard line. So Oklahoma's got the ball and the lead when we come back. The Sooner fans down in the end zone cheering their team on. With the Sooner schooner right behind Sam Bradford and company, Oklahoma starts inside its own 10-yard line with a touchdown lead. Bradford comes up throwing. Iglesias waited for a block out there from Kelly. Eric Jackson knocked him out of bounds. Stops the clock with 5:39 to go. They're gonna call that a lateral. That was actually a run, not a pass completion.
Yeah, it looked like it was a backward pass, and I'm sure Iglesias and the receivers know that. In case they do drop it, they'll get right on it or pick it up and run.
So it got 7. 2nd down and 3. Murray's been the tailback of note today for Oklahoma. Here he comes again, but Texas defense equal to the task. Very short gain, if any. Jared Norton made the stop. We're under 5.5 minutes now. We talked about game plans coming in. Get the ball to Kelly and Iglesias, and they have done that for 196 yards and the touchdown that put Oklahoma ahead. Colt McCoy needed to run the show. He's got almost 300 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. The one tip pass, the interception, the only blemish on his day. Bradford's hit 6 different receivers on 3rd down plays today, should he decide to try to put this one up on 3rd and 2. He's in the shotgun. He's got another completion, and it's Kelly again. There's your game plan. Out to the 26, 1st down, a pickup of 9. Let's check in with Bonnie.
This is a huge game for Malcolm Kelly. Only got shut out for the 2nd time last week in 26 games. And remember that Kelly is a Texas native. He wanted to come to Oklahoma to keep that winning tradition of winning this Red River rivalry. And he's not been able to do it in 2 tries. He told me, I want to win this game because I want to show Texas why I came to OU. And if they win, he'll be a big part of it.
He's got his 9th 100-yard-plus game. Had 6 of those last year, which was a sophomore OU record. Now it's Murray straight up the middle again. And now the clock continues to be the enemy of the Longhorns. Don't forget, a lot more college football coming up tonight. A couple of unbeatens in Ohio State and Purdue getting together in the Big Ten. Some of you'll see Notre Dame trying to win their first against UCLA. It's tonight at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC and ABC HD. And the other games big in the ACC down at Death Valley, Virginia Tech and Clemson. A lot of good ones yet to be played.
How about that Missouri? One of the real surprises.
Murray trying to go outside. Slides to a 1st down. That's all he needed. He was thinking big play and then wisely said, I better get to the sticks or the coach is going to yank me right off the sideline.
And he stayed in bounds to keep the clock rolling.
Exactly.
You know, Grease, I've been watching this young kid, Sam Bradford, down here on the field. I mean, get the ball out in a hurry, being confident what he does. When you see this guy up close, you just realize how much in command he is of this football team. I mean, these guys, there's no talking in that huddle. There's no chatter. There's nothing. He'll walk up. He is so patient with everything that he does. And watch him just stand up over this, Grease, and look around and know exactly where he's going, what he's doing.
6'4", 214-pound redshirt freshman. Now Murray out across the 40 to the 41. Oklahoma, if they can hang on to this, they're right in the thick of things in the Big 12 South and in the national picture as well. Missouri on the 13th, and at Iowa State, A&M, Baylor, Texas Tech, which is, of course, Mike Leach and throwing about 85% of the time, and then Oklahoma State in the big battle, bedlam at the end.
4 of their last 6 games are at home.
And here in the confines of the Cotton Bowl, they've got a touchdown lead, and the clock is in their favor, and they're milking it for all it's worth. 2nd and 6. Here comes a blitz. Toss to Murray. Got about a yard. The Big 12 South, the loser of this one's going to go to the basement, which is almost unheard of when you talk about these 2 teams. A&M and Oklahoma State at 1-0. And Oklahoma and Texas, one will go to 1-1, one will fall to 0-2 and be down there below Texas Tech and Baylor, and pretty much out of the whole picture. And the North's been a surprise. Mark Mangini's crew, a win today over Kansas State. Big win. They're 5-0. One of the undefeateds left. Nebraska, Colorado, of course, with the upset of Oklahoma last week on the final play of the ball game. So the much maligned Big 12 North is looking pretty good. And the Longhorns, you got to go back a long way to find a 4-game conference losing streak. That's before Mack was ever here. And again, they haven't opened up 0-2 in conference play since 1956. And I was just a kind of a gleam in Daddy's eye about that time. That's a long time ago.
Texas lost 10 starters from last year's team, 5 on offense and 5 on defense.
Big 3rd down, especially for the Texas defense here. Bradford flushed out of the pocket, might try to run for it. He's not going to get there. He got tattooed out of bounds at the 45-yard line by Killebrew, and now it's 4th down for Oklahoma. Nice job by Killebrew to get over there to prevent the quarterback who's passed so brilliantly today from scrambling for a first down. He's mixed it up pretty well. Doesn't have anything deep on the left side.
Yeah.
But he's got Kelly over there for that touchdown. That's part of the 74 over in that area that has the lead for them by 7. But now they've got to give it back. As Bob said, when there was 6 minutes or so left, there's still a lot of football, and there's going to be 2 minutes and change remaining for Texas. And they've got 2 of their timeouts left. Nice kick. Fair catch. They're going to let it go, and it's going to make it to the end zone. So it was too good a kick, maybe. It will come out to the 20. 2 minutes, 16 seconds remaining in regulation. The Texas Longhorns trail by a touchdown. They've got the ball back at their own 20-yard line. Oklahoma ran 3.5 minutes off the clock. That's about all they accomplished before that last punt. But still, that's big.
Yeah, that is big. But still, there's enough time for Texas.
We welcome those of you who have just seen Penn State defeat Iowa in Big Ten play. We're at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. This is the 102nd time the Longhorns and the Sooners have hooked up. And we got a beauty going. Texas has a chance to try to come down and tie things up. They trail by a score. McCoy, tip pass, incomplete. Curtis Lofton got a hand on it.
Well, that's a linebacker getting deep. You talk about this late in the game in this heat. Curtis Lofton was 15 yards down the field when he tipped that ball.
Well, that was the pass they were hitting earlier in the ball game,
right,
when the tight ends were in there and the slot receivers up the inside. But now in a sure passing situation, those linebackers are going to be a little bit deeper.
There you see Lofton going airborne. Big play by number 40.
It's fortunate he didn't get that tip intercepted.
Out of Kingfisher, Oklahoma. He looked like a kingfisher flying up there to knock that thing away. 2nd and 10. Colt McCoy in trouble in the pocket, and down he goes. Austin English, who got him earlier in this quarter, got him again.
You know, Austin English came into this game with 4 sacks, and he's got 2 in the last about 15 minutes. But, you know, people are getting tired. And this guy, you don't want to sit there and try to block him one-on-one. He's going to come right on the outside. Thank you, Robert. Just watch the speed he's got. He's got this much left. And Colt McCoy is sitting in that pocket just a little bit too long, had no one to throw it to, and English didn't quit.
Number 33 with a motor that hasn't slowed down despite the heat, the humidity. And down to 2 minutes, Bob Stoops has got his troops around him. Colt McCoy knows that he's down to a couple of plays. 2 minutes remaining. It is 3rd down and long. That's the 4th sack for Brent Venables' defense today. Came in with 18, have added 4 more.
Well, right now, Brad, if you're a Texas Longhorn, this is a 4-down situation.
Yeah.
If you don't pick it all up here, you're going for it on 4th down, because if you don't, you'll never get the ball back.
Shipley goes out wide to the top of your screen. Nate Jones in the slot. Cosby wide to Colt McCoy's right. Big play. 3rd and 14. Swing pass. Got it out to Obaniah. But he only got it to the 24, maybe the 25-yard line. So here's 4th down and a long 5.
Yeah. Oklahoma is dropping back. 7 guys looking at the quarterback, zone coverage, just waiting for him to throw it and react on wherever it goes.
And look at the crowd right now. They know this is the play of the day. They've come from far and near. They've come from Norman. They've come from Austin. They've come from the Texas State Fair outside, 80,000 strong, half and half, burnt orange, half crimson and cream, and it comes down to a Texas 4th and 6. They need to get to the 30-yard line. McCoy, incomplete. Oklahoma takes over.
I don't know if this ball was hit or not, but I tell you, McCoy got up, he's so disappointed. Whether he just threw that ball in the dirt, I'm not sure. But it wasn't even close.
Texas can only stop it one more time with a timeout. Oklahoma with a touchdown lead. And a first down at the 24.
Yeah, he had somebody in his face right there. He had to throw it. When he did, he couldn't wait any longer.
Brown diving forward to the line of scrimmage. That's about it. They're not worried about yardage. They're worried about clock now. Again, you see the throw.
It may have been deflected at the line of scrimmage. I couldn't
Gerald
tell.
McCoy got a nice rush, or at least was in Colt McCoy's face.
Right.
So one McCoy on the other. Clock ticking down. It'll be under a minute 20 before Oklahoma even breaks the huddle. Here they come up to the line. Sam Bradford wisely using all the clock he can. He rolls out. He's going to keep it all the way. He wants to stay in bounds, and he slides after a couple-yard pickup. And the clock will work its way under a minute.
You know, I was just thinking with him running the ball, Grease, there's 100,000 guys that have given the ball to on that play. He wasn't going to be one of them. Not your quarterback, but he got down.
Well, that takes away the possibility of a bad exchange and a fumble because it's in his hands the whole way.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm just worried about somebody taking a shot.
Well, it looks like Oklahoma is going to get their shot to stay right in the thick of everything. And they may move up a little bit from the number 10 spot this week in the next 30 seconds. They do hand it off. Murray trying to cover it up. That is just about going to do things for this game. 23 seconds as Texas has taken its last timeout. Today's Chevrolet players of the game. Sam Bradford, brilliant, 21 of 32, 244 and 3. Jermichael Finley, the main weapon for Colt McCoy today, 4 catches, 149 yards and a touchdown. In recognition of their effort, Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. You know, I talked Dean Blevins, an old friend of ours and former ABC colleague who still is very much in the Oklahoma Sooner scene, talking about when he played quarterback at OU. And Sam Bradford's dad, Kent, was an offensive lineman back in the late 70s. And he said his dad wouldn't say boo. His kid's the exact opposite, and he showed the leadership here this afternoon.
He sure did. It was enjoyable to watch him play. I've not seen these two quarterbacks in this ball game, and obviously they stepped in, took the pressure of the game, and just went with it because they both played very well.
Boy, it was a good one. Been doing it for a long time, since 1900. And now Hartley is lined up for a 38-yard field goal. What you don't want to do is get a field goal blocked. And he missed it. Texas is getting the ball back. There is a little bit of life left. Still 28-21 and still 19 seconds left.
I wonder how many guys are going to talk to the field goal kicker when he goes to the sideline.
See the Longhorn fans, that guy had his hands clasped together as if to say we still got a prayer left.
Well, that just tells me that Bob Stoops has an awful lot of confidence in his field goal kicking team.
Well, Hartley was a Groza finalist last year.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying about his protection where they wouldn't get it blocked.
Texas out of timeouts and down to just a couple of chances. McCoy going left, throws, completes. Streaking to the sideline to get out of bounds is Quan Cosby. Now, if you got one of those plays, a pickup of 17, like a hook and ladder or something, you better pull it pretty soon.
That's right. That's the, and you know, most of the time they don't work, and every team has them. And every week, every Thursday, they work on them because the kids like them. They like to play with them. They like to have fun with them. And they never work in practice. But sometimes in a game, they do work.
Texas at the 38-yard line, needing a touchdown. Out of timeouts. McCoy pressured.
He's
Flags
got him
down. Complete down to the 45, but again a penalty marker. I think we're going to have a holding call.
Here is on Chris Charles, number 71 is holding.
On the offense, number 71, 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
It wouldn't have made any difference, but the receiver on the far side, when he scrambled out, I think that was Cosby. On the far side, the two safeties came up out of the middle of the field, and he was behind everybody. I think that's what Mack saw before he saw the holding. Yeah, right here at the top of your screen, right there. Now, there's nobody in the center of the field. See, he's coming up. He was behind everybody.
One play, or one chance left. Now the clock shows 0. Texas should have one play left. There should be 4 seconds left on the clock.
There is no way that the offensive receivers are going to get behind.
Game's over. The Sooners win it. After having lost the last 2 to Texas, Bob Stoops' team back in the win column in the Red River rivalry. And now they'll say that they've won 6 of the last 8. It might look like this in the Dallas Morning News tomorrow. OU Sooners, they're still in the hunt in the national championship picture. Let's go down to Bonnie and the star of the show.
Brad, I know Sam Bradford was waiting for this game for a long time. You watched this rivalry growing up. Tell me what it's been like emotionally to help Oklahoma stop this 2-game losing skid against Texas.
This week was definitely, we knew we had to come back, and today we talked about all week. We knew it was going to be a 4-quarter battle, all 4 quarters, 60 minutes long. I felt like we came out here and we played 4 quarters today. And, it's the greatest feeling right now to look around and just see all these OU fans right here. I mean, I've been dreaming about it for a long time.
You know how important this game has been to keep you in the Big 12 race. What do you think you learned about your team today?
Appreciate it. Thanks, Coach. Thank you. I think we learned that, we got to come out, and if we play 4 quarters, we have a shot to win every game, and we got to come out and play 4 quarters every game. We can't take any plays off during the game. We got to play 4 quarters.
Sam Bradford, the redshirt freshman, with a phenomenal day, Brad.
Well, Sam, dreams do come true, huh? Great game for him. Colt McCoy in a losing effort. And you can see the 2 quarterbacks with a lot of respect. They'll see each other at least 2 more times in the Red River rivalry. Final score, Oklahoma 28, Texas 21. Tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on ABC, Ohio State's defense against Purdue's high-octane offense. Or some of you'll see Notre Dame and UCLA. For Bob Greasy, Paul McGuire, Bonnie Bernstein, Brad Nessler from Dallas. Good night.
The only local college postgame show, St. Anthony Game Day.
Here come the Oklahoma Sooners. Here comes number 19, Texas. They've won the last 2. Bradford might want to hold that ball down the middle. Get into Kelly. Bradford over the middle. Touchdown, Oklahoma. And it's Jermaine Gresham. Jamal Charles inside the 5. Touchdown. Dropped it. He dropped it. Oklahoma's got it. Hurdles a man. Murray. 1 man to beat down the sideline. He's got speed. DeMarco Murray is gone. Touchdown, Oklahoma.
The Sooners hit the jackpot with number 7, DeMarco Murray, as they knock off Texas 28-21 here today outside the Cotton Bowl. I'm Mark Rogers along with Tracy Gordon this afternoon. Tracy, this was an outstanding ball game, a little bit better ball game than I thought Texas came to play today. There was a lot of intensity, and it was all left out there on the field this afternoon.
Yeah, if you're a college football fan, a very exciting game today. You get your money's worth. The Red River Shootout, OU Texas, a battle to the end, a great game.
It was a great ball game today. Oklahoma played well in the first half. At times, Sam Bradford had a nice game today, threw the ball pretty well. Oklahoma's defense was unable to force pressure on Colt McCoy. He threw for 323 yards on the afternoon, but Oklahoma does come away with the victory. Great run defense from the Sooners. They were able to hold Charles in check for Texas, and Oklahoma advances to face Missouri next week as a team 1-1 in the Big 12. Texas is basically out of the Big 12 championship race now, and the Longhorns have lost 4 straight games in conference. Mack Brown has not done that since he's been at Texas. Let's take a look at what we have coming up a little bit later on in the show. We will have Bob Stoops from the press conference. We will go to him as soon as he enters there. We'll also hear from Sooner players. Tyler Suiters is on the field. He will talk with the Oklahoma Sooners as they come off the field, and plenty of game analysis here. We'll also take a look at some of the other games around the country. Some very exciting games in the Big 12 today, and we'll look ahead to the Missouri Tigers. They get ready to take on Nebraska tonight. So let's take a look at the highlights and how this game developed today as Oklahoma is able to beat Texas 28-21. Sooners come out of the locker room fired up. Tracy, always entertaining what's going on there in the ramp.
Yeah, we walk down the ramp, and the next player, I mean, it's an exciting feeling. It just sends goosebumps all over you, and you get out there and compete. It's a great feeling.
All right, here's
the Sooners. Big drive. That play came on 3rd down and 14. Sam Bradford finds Malcolm Kelly right at the stripe, and the Sooners are able to sustain it there, Tracy, after trading punts early in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's good. Oklahoma had good rhythm today, throwing the ball, and you have to get Kelly involved, and as well as Iglesias. But those guys are both big-time receivers, so you have to get them involved early.
And here is Malcolm Kelly again. Bradford puts this ball right on the money. Kelly going across the field is in the seam, sets the Sooners up on the 1-yard line. We called for the tight end in the game. We get the tight end. Jermaine Gresham from Ardmore catches the 1-yard touchdown pass. The Sooners take the lead 7-0.
Offense.
Texas, though, would answer back, and they answer back with a little tight end play of their own. Jermichael Finley. Ain't Oklahoma up in the first half, but he was nowhere to be found in the second half. Finley takes it inside the 5-yard line, and then Colt McCoy would find Jordan Shipley. Really a nice play here, Tracy, by McCoy. Forces Reggie Smith to come up, and there is Shipley in the end zone for the touchdown.
Yeah, that's really tough on the cornerback because you have that decision to come up or play the receiver. I think, Reggie Smith looks at film. He has to play the receiver.
All right, here's Colt McCoy again. There's Jermichael Finley again. Gets off the line free and splits the seam. He is in, and Texas takes a 14-7 lead on Oklahoma with 7 minutes to go in the first half. Oklahoma, though, answers back. It's again Gresham. Going to show the Texas fans, hey, number 18 right here, give him a little jersey, and the Sooners have tied it up at 14 going into halftime. Huge play right here, Tracy. Charles in, and the ball is stripped by Curtis Lofton. Gerald McCoy comes up with it and shifts the momentum of this game.
Yeah, that's a big key to stop them from going because Texas goes up, then, they have momentum. That's the key to the game for Oklahoma.
Texas moved the ball well. They're going to outgain, I think, OU, and the final statistics are totaled up. Look at this run by DeMarco Murray. Gets the hurdle and then goes down the sidelines. Angle there for the Texas defensive back, but it doesn't matter. Murray has great speed, sprinter speed and track, under 10.7 in the 100 meters, and he takes it to the house for a touchdown, 64 yards.
Yeah, Murray's my starter. He's a big-time player. You have to get him the ball at least 18 to 20 times a game.
And there's Bradford to Malcolm Kelly. Oklahoma takes the lead back at 28-21, and that would be the difference. Bradford today, 21 of 32, 256 yards and 3 touchdowns on the day. Sooner fans are happy as they get the victory. So I think, who's your vote for player of the game today? Who do you like?
My vote is going to be Gresham because, again, down there tough. Tight end matchup for linebackers is tough. They exploited us. We exploited them. But, again, it's hard. Bradford, Murray, Gresham.
I'm going with Sam Bradford. Sam Bradford had a great ball game, and Sam Bradford is our player of the game today. Bradford, as we said, was very poised in the pocket. He was confident, threw 3 touchdown passes on the afternoon, and I thought he ran the offense very, very well. Didn't make mistakes, especially when you consider it's his first game here in the Red River rivalry. There's the pass to Malcolm Kelly. Bradford, no interceptions. The Sooners, no turnovers on the day. Texas has 2 turnovers, and that's the difference in the ball game. Our Arby's player of the game today is Oklahoma quarterback Sam Bradford with an outstanding afternoon. And good to see Malcolm Kelly back in the swing of things. After not being thrown to last week, the Sooners made him a big part of their game plan. He had 5 receptions for 105 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, you have to get him involved in the game. There's a question, around the third quarter, he went out for a little bit, didn't know hurt or not, came back in. Key to win. I mean, if Oklahoma wants to win, they have to get Malcolm Kelly involved. He's a big-time player. He has to get the ball.
I agree with that. He battled hamstring cramps all afternoon, and I'm telling you, it was absolutely stifling hot. There was a lot of humidity out here today, not much wind, a little bit of sun, but it was very, very humid all afternoon and very, very hot. So you could see players from both sides of the field, Tracy, going down with injuries and cramps and whatnot. So, but it's a big win for Oklahoma as they're able to persevere and get the job done 28-21 the final. All right, we're going to take an opening timeout. We will come back. We will have much more here on St. Anthony postgame live from the Cotton Bowl at the Texas State Fair. Oklahoma now 1-1 in Big 12 play as they beat the Texas Longhorns 28-21.
St. Anthony Game Day with Mark Rogers and the Sports Extra team.
Welcome back here just outside the Cotton Bowl. Yes, the umbrellas are out now in full force at the midway of the Texas State Fair. About a few minutes after the game concluded, it had a little thunder, a little lightning. You got some downpour going on right now. A little action, huh?
That's right. I'm glad it waited till after the game. I don't like getting wet.
No, I agree with you. And it looked like it might rain earlier, and it did rain here this morning. But by the time the game got here, the sun came out a little bit, and it was very, very humid, as we talked about earlier, but the field was unaffected. They've got a new turf here inside the Cotton Bowl, and it did a pretty good job of holding up today. It is now time to take a look at our Bob Moore drive of the game for Oklahoma. It was the Sooners getting on the scoreboard first. This was an absolutely outstanding drive by that man right there. Quarterback Sam Bradford. First play here. Going to find Malcolm Kelly, Tracy, third down and 14. Texas playing a soft coverage, and Kelly gets it right on the stripe.
Yeah, and that's perfect coverage you want for Kelly. Great throw coming up here to Iglesias. Big time throw, big time catch over 2 defenders. You have to have those type of plays in big games.
Last week at Colorado, ball slips through Iglesias' hands, pops up into the Colorado defensive back's hands. This may have been the difference in the ball game. Today, the Sooners made some great catches. Bradford obviously excited about that. Goes down to Malcolm Kelly, and of course the Sooners would cash in on that on the 1-yard touchdown pass to Jermaine Gresham in the back of the end zone. So it's good to see the tight end, though, back in the offense. Gresham getting the 2 touchdown passes today, and he can make plays, Tracy. Talk about how difficult it is to defend a guy that's that size and as fast as Jermaine Gresham is.
It really is for the linebackers, because the linebackers are reading inside, and the tight ends is really hard to account for. And usually the tight end is going to be a better athlete than the linebacker, and that creates problems because the linebacker is going to be looking inside. The tight end can slip across, and it's hard to account for. So that's a matchup problem for the linebacker, and Texas exploited us on it as well.
Yeah,
so
it's extremely difficult to do when you're a linebacker. You got to worry about the fullback in the run game first. That tight end is kind of in your peripheral vision, but by the time you get an athlete the caliber of Jermichael Finley or the caliber of Jermaine Gresham that can move that fast, their buy-in, it's too late, and that's what you talked about a little bit today.
That's right. You can get kind of lost and get behind them, and boom, big play, and great execution by the offense on both sides.
All right, speaking of big as in Phil Lothholt, the Sooners offensive tackle. He signed with LSU out of high school and was going to go to Garden City Community College, and on his way to Garden City, made a stop off in Norman. Hey, he liked things the way they were. He ends up at Oklahoma. Let's take a look at this domination, Tracy, there on the goal line. Watch Lothholt just absolutely take apart the Texas defender, knocks his helmet off. He is very agile, as big as he is, 6'8", all-state basketball player in Colorado. And again, Franklin Ocam, one of the best tackles in the country on the defensive line. Lothholt got the best of him there.
Yeah, and one thing I'm surprised about Lothholt, his feet work is so good, and that's the mark of a really good lineman. And, you know, he can move his feet, he can get it up under you. Great technique, great technician. And, you know, that much weight leaning on you in the fourth quarter, you're going to be tired, and that's what happened. He just wore him down.
He gave him a little extra rub there, a little extra nasty. And this is the pass rush that you're talking about where he really displays his footwork. Got a little basketball shoe action going on there, but we can see that Phil had a good game today. The Oklahoma offensive line was good. I thought they got the best effort from the Texas defensive front, which is a really good part of the Texas football team.
Yeah, Texas is a good football team. They've got great athletes, but Oklahoma was able to stay patient, and was able to have some success, and it was just a great game.
All right, we got a little lightning going on here. Let's go to Mack Brown in the Texas locker room at the post-game press conference right now.
You'll put your hand up, please. We got one right here on the front right.
Mack, you were able to get Jermichael down the field. Was that something you'd been holding or something you thought you could exploit?
Yeah. Each week you have things that you feel like will work against a specific team, and that's something that we saw that we felt like we could get him the ball, and thought our offensive staff did a good job, but protection was good throughout most of the day, and Jermichael and Colt really got hot.
We got a on the right-hand side, Mike Jones.
Mack, you've seen a lot of big drives in games like this. How about OU's 94-yard drive?
That was a great drive. We answered about every time that they scored. They answered. I thought that's why it was such a great game. I think we had a 65-yard drive right before that.
We've got a question over here on the second row, about halfway across. If you come, Kelly, come on around.
Coach, you're a little bit behind the 8 ball now at 0-2. What can you guys do to keep the morale up and still reach some goals you want to reach by the end of the year?
Well, there's a tremendous amount of pride in this football program and this team, and the guys were passionate about continuing to work and getting better next week. And our fortunes are out of our hands right now, or out of our control as far as the championship at the end, obviously, but we just got to continue to get better as a football team.
Number 1 target.
Question on the right front, right here in front of us, Coach.
Hey, Coach, I mean, after Jermichael's big first half, what did OU do in the second half? You guys threw it to him like once, or?
Nothing. I thought Jermichael played really well in the second half, too. He and Colt did a great job. I thought it was a great football game.
Got a question on the back left side. Go ahead, right there, yeah.
Derek, can you just comment a little bit about the turnover battle and how frustrating it is to not be able to create turnovers again?
You know, it is frustrating, but, you know, I saw as a defense more today, you know, we had more gang tackling, you know, holding guys up and other guys ripping for the ball. You know, I think we tried hard at that today, and I think we tackled better today, and I really think that they did a good job, you know, hanging on to the ball because we were getting to the ball in numbers and we were trying, you know.
I don't know. We had a very unfortunate tip that went through Jamal's hands right into their hands. They had 2 tips, and we weren't able to get them. So this team's due some luck.
On the front row right here on the middle.
Cole, do you feel like that, I know the ball was tipped and sort of out of your control on that pass, but do you feel like that tipped interception on your very first possession of the fourth quarter was maybe perhaps the biggest play of the game?
You know, I felt like offensively we were moving the ball every time we had the ball. And when you have a stall like that, it really hurts. But, you know, I felt like we came back and drove right back down the field. So I don't know that was the biggest play in the game, but, you know, it definitely, you know, it stalled us. And those things can't happen. So.
We got a question over here on the right side about 3/4 of the way back. Kevin?
Yes, Colt. On the tip, were you going for Charles in that play, or there was a wide receiver behind him? Were you trying to get him?
No, I was throwing to Jamal. You know, I looked for him early on. They dropped everybody back, and so I was looking for Jamal in an underneath route, and I couldn't find him, so I scrambled out of the pocket and just trying to make a play. And you know, if he catches it, he may go score. You know, I don't know. He's wide open. Makes a move on number 3. So it's just unfortunate. You know, I felt like we played really well offensively. We moved the ball. We had a turnover down in the first drive of the third quarter that really hurt us. But you know, it's tough. And I felt like offensively though we really played well, and we played well as a team. Oklahoma's a great football team. You got to give them credit. They played really well defensively and offensively. So you know, it was a great game.
Question on the aisle on the right side.
Coach, how would you rate how both quarterbacks played today? And Sam Bradford was in the same situation as Colt was last year, first-time starter. How do you think both of those guys played?
I thought both quarterbacks played great and gave their team chances to win.
Okay, question on the front right.
Jermichael? Over here. On the way, there you go. How hard is it to enjoy what you did on the field today? How hard is it to enjoy what you did on the field today, given how the game ended, the outcome of the game?
I can't hear him.
They're not working very good. Hello? Okay.
Come here.
How hard is it to enjoy what you did today, given the outcome of the game?
I still can't hear you. Just come out here. Just tell me.
How hard is it to enjoy what you did on the field today, given the outcome of the game?
Oh no, the team just went out there and played their hardest, and it was just at the end we just couldn't finish, and we just got to look over this and keep on going, keep on rolling.
We got another question over here, and then we'll come to the aisle. Just one second. On the right-hand side.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? No? I wonder if you could talk, Mack, about the fumble, the momentum that was taken away right there. Looked like Jamal was going into the end zone and then a fumble right there at the goal line.
Yeah, I thought just from what I could see on the video screen and during the ball game that he had the ball properly tucked away, and I think it was one of their linebackers did a great job of hitting the ball with his hand, knocking it out, and again, that was a momentum changer, but the ball's down inside the 5-yard line. We've got to stop them there and get the ball back and take the momentum back. Give them credit for moving it out. We lost some field position. We came right back and scored. I thought probably the biggest situation in the ball games when they muffed the kickoff and we got them at the 6 and they took it down and scored. That probably put us in the worst shape of anything throughout the day. Other than that, the 2 obvious turnovers, one of them went through Jamal's hands. I thought it was a great pass by Colt. The other one was a fumble that was knocked loose, and we didn't knock any loose. So for 2 games in a row, turnovers and lack of cost us. I thought this effort was a lot better than the one last week.
Question on the aisle.
Jermichael, what was going on in the first half that allowed you to get open, and did they switch anything in the second half to take that away from you?
They had a linebacker manned up on me, and all I had to do was beat the linebacker, and I knew I can do that, and that's all it was. Then the receivers bust their butt and got open, and they left me open down the middle.
We had a question about 3/4 of the way back. Kevin, just a second, then we'll move the microphone back up this way. Just pass the microphone down, somebody.
Mack, y'all did obviously play much better on offense today. Why do you think that was?
I don't know. We just simplified some things and gave Colt more protection than we did last week. And he's shown that he has the ability to get the ball to the open guys if he has the time. And I thought our protection was really good for the large majority of the day. He also hit the blitz a couple of times and made big plays in the first half, and they blitzed less the second half and tried to play more coverage.
Question on the right-hand side.
Derek, how much tougher is this one, knowing if a couple things had gone the other way, y'all could have won this game with it being that close? Does it make it that much tougher?
Yeah, I mean, any loss is tough, but, when you go and you play as hard as you can as a team and you have a lot of energy and have a lot of effort, they're a little easier to take, I guess you could say, but any loss is hard and it cuts to the core, especially to OU here in Dallas. But you got to give it to them. They played really hard, and they were extremely classy. They were gracious in victory, and it was a fun game, the whole game. And I just knew we were going to pull it out at the end, and it didn't go our way. So we got to go back to work tomorrow.
All right, that's the Texas players from the post-game media press conference. The Oklahoma players will follow the Texas players into that room. We'll have all of that audio from Bob Stoops' press conference coming up in just a little bit. We'll also go to the field. Tyler Suiters caught up with Sam Bradford as he came off the field after Oklahoma's 28-21 victory today over Texas. Bob Stoops now 6-3 against the Texas Longhorns. The Sooners 7-5 against Texas since the inception of the Big 12 in 1996. We got much more to come here on the St. Anthony Postgame Show live from the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. We'll be back with more right after this.
St. Anthony Game Day with Mark Rogers and the Sports Extra team.
Welcome back here at the Cotton Bowl. Oklahoma defeats Texas today 28-21. Mark Rogers along with Tracy Gordon. Tyler Suiters is our man on the field. He caught up with Sam Bradford immediately following the Sooners' victory.
Sam, terrific game. How was your first OU Texas matchup?
Oh, man, it was wonderful, Came out here, played for 4 quarters, thought we did a great job, battled all day long, Everyone came out here, played hard, and, it's just a great feeling to get this win.
Passing game looked terrific today. What was the key in your mind?
I think we knew we were going to take our shots today.
Yeah, Sam Bradford played very, very well, and we mentioned the bounces went his way today that didn't go his way against Colorado. Tracy, he throws an outstanding ball. He's got a lot of poise and a lot of touch on the ball. I think he has to develop a little bit more, look at his reads, but he looks like he's on track to becoming a really good quarterback at OU.
Yeah, one thing I think Oklahoma fans can be really proud of is that, he has confidence and he has that calm poise about him that he delivers a soft ball and a soft touch, and he gives his receivers a chance to catch the ball, because if you notice his balls have tight, smooth spirals where the receiver can catch it and then, tuck it in and then go make yards after the catch. So I think, going forward that he will be a better player, but he just throws a tight ball, and that's something that you can't coach. You were born with that.
I agree with that. A lot of guys have the big arm. They throw it too hard. Sometimes they throw it with the nose coming down a little bit, but Bradford does put it in a good spot. I think that he really will develop. We're starting to see that, and it would have to give him a lot of confidence to get the victory in this win here today against Texas. Bradford 21 of 32, 256 yards, and 3 touchdown passes, and no mistakes today. I think that's one of the big keys, is that he was able to. That play got called back. It was a heck of a grab by Gresham down to the 40-yard line, but Bradford had a great day. We have Bob Stoops right now in the Oklahoma post-game press conference.
On one of them that he had a big play, we had 3 guys hit him, or 3 guys that are right around him for the football, and he beat us to the ball, and everybody kind of runs into each other, and Lendy's in back of him ready to intercept the ball, and he jumps in front of him. So a couple of times we didn't cover him very well. The other times, he made a nice play when we did have him covered. And then we just switched up our coverages. In the end, we were in good coverages early on. We just didn't, we kind of sucked up on the play action a little too much, and they had us in the hole.
We're going to take a question on the front right here in the middle.
Curtis, I wonder if you can talk about the strip of Charles on that play where you got the turnover deep in their territory.
He cut back, and I just secured the tackle, and I just went for the ball, and it came out, and I think GK picked it up.
Okay, we got a question right here, and then we'll move over on the right-hand side.
Sam, hello. Sam, on the drive you were talking about earlier, it seemed like you went to some audibles maybe. It just seemed like everything seemed to work. Did the game slow down for you in that drive? Was it any different than other moments in the game?
I don't know if the game slowed down, but I think the coaches did a good job of getting us in good situations. What we were calling, we had a good plan, and when we were out there, things just got rolling.
We got a question on the left-hand side in the middle. You got the microphone.
All right. Coach, can you talk about the poise and the leadership of your quarterback, and is he turning into a freshman by name only the more you see him play?
He's sitting right next to me. I don't want to brag on him too much. So you guys are trying to give him the big head. So he does a nice job. I think Sam is for as young as he is has a lot of confidence and a lot of cool to him. He doesn't make too much of the situation. I believe he trusts the guys around him to make plays. And as he said, I think he does an excellent job of just doing what our offensive coaches are asking him to do. Play your role. No one needs to be Superman out here and distribute the ball. And he does a great job going through his reads and doing that.
Okay, question on the front.
This is for Sam. Would you kind of talk about how nice it was to be able to get Malcolm back involved in the game, and then a similar question for Malcolm to be able to be involved in the game and make some catches, and especially the touchdown?
It's always good when you have him involved in the game. Like you saw today, he made some catches that were just unreal. So anytime you have an opportunity to throw to Malcolm, you like your chances.
I guess getting back in the game, I was real anxious. I came out after halftime, my hamstring kind of cramped up, so I really didn't know if I was going to be able to get in. Coach Stoops kind of gave me that look and said, we need you. So I guess it kind of find its way to heal, I guess. But, it was real important, getting back in there and being able to help the offense out.
You just throw the ball within about 10 yards of him, you got a chance of completing it. Right, Sam?
Got a question on the left-hand side.
Malcolm, last week you guys struggled in the fourth quarter at Colorado. Today the offense has a huge drive. The defense steps up and makes some plays. Just talk about the difference from last week to this week in the fourth.
Last week, I don't know, last week, last week is really dead in last week. I'm really not worried about last week. We came out and we didn't execute the game plan. That's what we talked about all week going in this week. We're going to put that loss behind us, because if we sat there and dwelled on that loss, we're going to come out and get beat again. So we just put that behind us and came out this week, had a real good week of preparation. So we just came out on game day and we knew it was going to click on game day. We played like we know we had to. That we knew how we could.
I think another difference in last week's game in the fourth quarter, we had 3 turnovers. And so when you take care of the football in the fourth quarter, you got a much better chance of winning as a team.
We got a question on the right side.
DeMarco, when you got the ball on the long run, what did you see in front of you or to the side before you took off?
I just saw a big gap. Offensive line did a great job blocking. I just made one little cut, and then from there, I just tried to use my speed to get to the outside and just work my way into the end zone. Offensive line did a great job blocking, so it was open.
Question on the front left.
DeMarco, I was about to ask the same thing. So, Austin, talk about it. It seemed like it was difficult to get pressure on Colt for much of the day, but you guys stayed after it, and you might mention the play that you ran Colt down from behind.
Well, the one where I ran him down from behind was really great coverage in the secondary by the backers, and just allowed me time. Made him hold it, and anytime you get that much help from the secondary, you got to get the sack.
Okay, we had a question right back here, and then we'll go over to Mike, and then we'll come back this way.
Austin, how big was it for you guys after last week, Austin? After last week's game in Colorado, how big was it to avoid going into an 0-2 hole? And what was your mindset there in the third quarter when they were driving the ball down with a chance to take the lead?
Last week was last week. We try to move past that the best we can, and we knew, last week we got our butt kicked in the fourth quarter, and pretty much the whole second half. So we had to come out and show what we had and pride ourselves in winning the fourth quarter.
We got a question on the west side, and we'll move back to the right just in a minute, guys.
Malcolm, in the first scoring drive, you were very instrumental there with the big catch, and that had to do something for your confidence. And then you came back and there in the second half and played in a pretty well game. Just comment about your overall performance today after
I guess, in the first quarter, in the first half, I had a big catch, running down, almost scored. So it was just a momentum builder. Playing in the game, sometimes you kind of get down on yourself, when things aren't going your way, but that's what, Coach was, expressing that all during the week, all day today in the hotel, the game's going to change. They're going to get momentum. We're going to get momentum. So when you get momentum, you have to hold it, and that just translated to the rest of the game.
We got a question over on the right-hand side, and then we'll come back on the left. Just a second.
Question for Sam. Would you talk about the rhythm you guys had going on the 94-yard drive, and then how that touchdown play developed?
That what?
The rhythm. How the touchdown play developed.
On the 94, they wanted to know about the rhythm on the 94-yard drive and then how the touchdown pass developed.
I think we just got in a rhythm. We got a few quick passes in there. I think Wick made a few good catches just to get us going, kept ourselves ahead of the chains, and then we got in that third, I think it was 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 or so, and we ran that play action. We've been working on that all week and just read it out, and Malcolm did a great job coming open right there.
Sam Bradford, 21 of 32, 256 yards and 3 touchdown passes. He is our Arby's player of the game today. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll have more from Tyler Souters on the field. He's with Joaquin Iglesias as well as Reggie Smith. Sooners win the Red River rivalry today by a final of 28-21. More St. Anthony postgame right after this.
Game Day with Mark Rogers and the Sports Extra team.
Well, welcome back to the Cotton Bowl. Oklahoma over Texas today, 28-21. The final. We'll talk a little bit about the defense. Texas had really had a lot of issues protecting Colt McCoy coming into the game. Mack Brown, you heard him in his postgame commentary, said Texas played a lot better today. Tracy, Oklahoma, though, needs to put more pressure on the quarterback. There is one notable absence on the field the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, John Williams, when he got hurt against Tulsa, that kind of, put them set them back as far as the ability to pass rush. But they've got to be able to manufacture some type of pass rush with their defensive front, because if you don't, you start blitzing, then you expose your secondary, because if you give a quarterback time, he's going to find holes in your secondary. I don't care who it is. And then that's a problem for your defense. So they're going to have to figure out a way how to get pressure without blitzing every time.
And I think the secondary has really taken a lot of heat, especially on the talk shows and the talk radio at the Sports Channel on my show. People are worried about why people running wide open. But Oklahoma in the first half did bring blitz pressure and instill, even with the extra defensive backs coming in, DJ Wolf is a safety, cornerback blitz pressure coming. Texas was able to block them. Colt McCoy was able to find players down the field. Oklahoma played more standard defense in the second half, and I think it helped them a little bit. But that may be something that they have to worry about later on down the season. Texas Tech is a team you don't really blitz because it's short drops, quick passes. Missouri's a little bit the same way with Daniel at quarterback as well.
Right, yeah, they're going to have to figure out a way, and I think they can do it. They've got some potential up there with English. He did a really good job today. I think he had one of the key plays when he sacked Colt McCoy when the OU secondary, really covered up all the receivers, but that hit on Colt McCoy really rattled him. So, again, that was an outstanding play. They just need to, get more pressure under the quarterback, and if they can do that, that helps their defense. So the secondary is not bad. When they have breakdowns, it's in technique-wise, so they can work on those things, but they have to be able to get pressure. Wolf had a sack today, which was huge because, again, if you get the touch on the quarterback, you want to hit him, you want to be able to knock him down. You necessarily don't have to get sacks, but you have to get pressure on him to rattle the quarterback to get him out of rhythm.
It was, you saw both Nick Harris and DJ Wolf from the backfield on that, so you're talking about maximum pressure coming in from both safeties. Tyler Souters is on the field with the man that made the big interception today, thwarting Texas's drive. He's with Reggie Smith. Tyler?
Smith with me now. Reggie, congratulations. Your first win over Texas.
Yeah, it's feel good. We finally get it off my back. We've been here going on 3 years, and this is the first time we got him.
Seems like, Reggie, except for a few big plays for the Texas offense, your defense looked terrific.
We just, kept grinding and kept grinding. It was going to be a long fight game. We kept fighting to the end.
One more question for you. What were you thinking when you got that tipped interception fall right into your hands?
Man, I was just trying to go score, trying to get in the end zone.
All right, Reggie, thanks a lot. Mark, a win for the Edmond native. Back to you.
All right, Reg, you got a little cameo high fade there going.
Yeah.
His new haircut. Let's go back to Tyler working hard. He's with Joaquin Iglesias.
Really well today, Joaquin.
Yeah, man, we knew we can do it. Last week, we just had to bounce back. You know what I'm saying? Come out firing. And we did today, and we ain't held nothing back, and it showed.
Did you do anything special in the off week getting ready for this after last week's disappointing third down performance?
I mean, we were ready last week. We felt like during the game, we let down our focus. So, I mean, we just try not to do that this week, and we came out and played hard, man.
Seems like Sam was on the right page with all of you today.
Yeah, man, Sam's doing a great job from the start, from the first game, and we're going to rally behind him, and I know I'm 100% behind him, and I think he's going to be a great player for us.
6 catches for Joaquin Iglesias and 1 yard short of the century mark. Tracy, quickly, you said, what was the biggest difference between this week and last week?
Today, Oklahoma was ready to play. Let's just make no mistake about it. Last week, Colorado, from the first part of the snap, they were dropping balls. They was not ready to play. Today, they came out with intensity. They came out with the passion, and they came out ready to play. And then you set the stage early. You're ready to play. You can give yourself chances to make big plays because the team's into the game. Because it's all about flow and rhythm, and that's what you have to have if you want to be a big-time team in big-time games.
Yeah, Sooners did come out ready to play. I think it's that burnt orange that brought it out of them. I think the Sooners brought out the best in the Texas burnt orange as well today. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with more commentary from the Sooners dressing room. Oklahoma today, victors over Texas, 28-21. Sooners now 1-1 in Big 12 play. This is the St.